They also tuned up my garage, did a great job, replaced some stuff, like $150. It was the best service I've gotten. 720-370-3987. Okay, let's talk. Randy's got a comment on Copart where that guy bought a car. I feel bad for him. He bought a car. He said, I knew it was salvaged, but it's more salvaged than I thought it was. Go ahead, Randy, what's your comment?
A few years ago, I bought a motorcycle from him, and it had a acrylic windshield on the front. As they were loading it, the loader crushed the windshield. And went inside and talked to them, and they said it's part of the deal here at Copart. Like,
you mean part of the deal that no matter what happens to it, you bought it?
Yep.
That sucks. But thank you for that, Randy. Well, that's weird. It was crushed on the loader, but that's weird because if something is damaged and you know it's damaged, it's represented as damaged. What if it's turns out to be more damage? See, that's the problem. Charlie, your turn. Let's talk about a follow-up. What are we following up here, Charlie? Did you call before, sir?
Charlie Chavez with the truck with Jeff Jolliffe. It was stolen 2 years ago.
Oh, with Jeff? Oh, my God. Well, anyway, that was a long time ago. Are you talking about, you took your truck there and it was stolen, right?
That's me.
Charlie, you're the reason he was on one of the reasons, he was on Sleaze Brigade. And since then, many trucks have been stolen. It's funny, Mark, how trucks are stolen from Jeff Jolliffe.
Oh, yeah.
And they're stolen when they bring them back for warranty work.
Yeah, bring it on back. We'll go ahead and fix it.
So, Charlie, what's going on with you lately?
Oh, you just wouldn't know. I almost died a few months ago because of my heart failure. I'm fighting a malpractice lawsuit. I've been through hell.
Oh, my goodness. Wait a minute. What are you talking about, heart failure? How old are you?
57.
Well, how do you get heart failure?
Through pneumonia back in 2006. I've been fighting disability for 13 and a half years and just got my disability settlement. But I went to Arizona to do a job last year when they did surgery in my heart in February 2nd, and they went through my groin. And I didn't have a choice but to work, so I got a job offer out there, and I got.
They went through your groin. They did a stint.
No, they were checking to see my heart and see how bad it was getting because there was.
Yeah, they did a scope. I hear they can go through the wrist now. Anyway, bottom line, what's going on?
I have heart failure, and my truck got stolen. You know that, and I've been tracking him. You've been tracking him. But either way, he caused me a lot of pain and sorrow, and I got in trouble because I went out to Arizona to work to make a difference, and I went through hell out there.
What are you calling about now? What can we help you with?
Well, I went by the shop, and I was heading up to Central City the other night, and I was in the hospital either way, but I was checking things out, and I went by the shop, and it's totally vacant over there.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
That would be good news.
And he's running on 3 warrants.
He's what?
He's on the run on 3 warrants, I hear. I talked to the federal PD last night, and they called me up, but either way, I got his ass.
Wait a minute. Do you have a contact we can call and find out?
Yes. PD, I called him last night. He called me back, but I'm waiting for him to call. But the thing is, I called A1 Transmission, and he's nowhere located, and he corresponded with me, so I know he's on his phone. And he's been corresponding with me all morning on Smart. So I'm following my trails backwards, and I know where his family's located out in Nebraska.
All right, hold on. Here, do me a favor. Kachina Clory, get the name of that federal officer or some police officer you talked to. Let's verify that Jeff Jolliffe is on the run. I'm not sure he is. I don't want to say that, but he said he is. Also, he said that the place is vacant. Wow. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Homer, what's going on, man? What's happening, Homer?
Hey, I'm a small business owner that's been in business for just over a year.
What kind of business?
It's an excavating company.
Okay, what can we do for you, man?
I got a customer that is 7 months delinquent paying me, and I don't think he's ever going to pay me.
Well, why did you lost your right to put a lien on that sucker? You waited too long, bro.
Yeah, I like I said, I've only been in business a year. I didn't know what I didn't know.
How much does he owe you?
About 70 grand, 60 to 70 grand.
Wait. You waited this long? Wait, Mark, I think he can still go after him. He just can't lien the property, but he can still go after him.
Sure.
Yeah. You can still go after him, but you don't have any leaning rights. The only way you would have a leaning right after 4 months after cessation of work is if you get a judgment. Then you can lien with a judgment, but you have to take him to court. Homer, you better not screw around. You better get a collection attorney, and we have a good one. Let them do it for a portion of it.
Perfect.
That's what you need, Frank Ball. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you a little something about the owner, the customer. Did you do work on a house or business?
Business, commercial sites.
What did you do?
I transported all of the overburden.
What's that mean?
Imported.
So you took away some dirt and brought in new?
All of the dirt. I trucked out all of the dirt and brought in aggregate.
Oh. Trucking out dirt.
Yeah.
Okay. And bringing in aggregate. Okay. What kind of a site is that?
They're commercial sites.
I understand, but what was it? Was it a parking lot? Was it a restaurant? What was it?
There's multiple of them. There was a park. There was apartment complex.
Why are you not being... What excuse are they giving for not paying you?
That he doesn't have the money, but I know he's been paid on it. Somebody told me that's against the law.
Oh, you wait. You worked for a contractor.
Yes.
You got a problem, man. You do. I mean, you have.
I would be the stud.
I understand that. Why didn't you lien this property?
Because a friend of mine, it's his brother's. A friend of mine, it's his brother's son's company.
So. Wait. A friend of yours. It's your friend's brother's son.
Yeah.
Well, you were too nice, man. Here, Kachina Kalori, give him Frank Ball's contact information if you have that. I think Frank can really help him out.
Hey, do you have a signed contract?
This is too late now. I mean, it doesn't really matter. What does it matter?
Well, at least if he goes after him with a contract, there's proof that he owes the money.
I think that there's proof. It's called, it's quantum merit, meaning he can show the work he did. He can get a witness or two. That's not going to come into play. I mean, it will. It's easier, but at this point, it sucks. It really sucks. But the point is, you should have a written contract going forward. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. By the way, Denver Regenerative Medicine, they did my stem cell therapy. Right now, it's been about more than a week. I had a little stiffness at first. Am I noticing improvement? Not yet, but I'm going to keep you informed. I had it all throughout my epidural space and facet joints in the lower back to try to take out some pain. And then it's not the same thing I had surgery for. I had a great result with that. This was something new, an injury. Anyway, so I did that with Denver Regenerative Medicine. You can get, by the way, a consultation, 833-STEM-GEN, with a stem cell doctor and talk to them straight up. 833-STEM-GEN.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Dan Kaplis today at 4, 630 KHOW, Denver. This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Tudor Dixon Podcast.
We're seeing another clean 10 a.m. drive throughout the Denver Metro, of course, with a couple slow spots out there. I-25 north and southbound showing posted speeds into and out of downtown. Up on the north end, I-270 eastbound, some pretty heavy, significant congestion between I-25 and I-76. No word of an accident, and otherwise I-270 east and westbound flowing free through the Commerce City area. I-70 east and westbound, no complaints to and from DIA. Fox 31, pinpoint fine weather, mostly cloudy skies today. Another warm one, the last warm one for the next couple days at least, with a high of 77 degrees. Tomorrow, those clouds should be bringing in rain with a high of 51. The current temperature is 68 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 K-House.
Coming up on the next episode of the Tudor Dixon podcast, the one and only Shannon Bream of Fox News joins me to discuss her new book, The Love Stories of the Bible Speak. Catch the Tudor Dixon podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
When it comes to family law, people are in such a tizzy when it comes to, filing for divorce or separation and child custody and all of the issues surrounding it. And many people might make some pretty stupid decisions when it comes to finances. You know what I love about Harris Family Law? They address all of the elements in family law. They don't leave you hanging in one area or another. They try to give you complete services so your life can be put back together. And Jenny Ray with Harris Family Law, what I'd like to ask you is, what are some of the wise financial decisions you recommend?
Absolutely, Tom, and thank you for taking the time to speak with me. You know, we had a webinar last night for our Wiser Together webinar series that can be found on our website. And what we discussed during that webinar was it's so important to have kind of a divorce team, if you will, before, during, and after your divorce. And so, part of that team can be the person, your financial planner, to have a person, a mortgage broker on your side to see if you can qualify for a mortgage after the divorce and what you need plans for. And also a realtor, so you can help find someone that you can kind of tie together with that mortgage lender to be able to make those decisions. Something to consider is looking at, maintenance. How long will I be anticipating maintenance? How long does a mortgage lender need to prove the maintenance as far as income to be qualified as income? So those types of decisions, they all kind of tie together symbiotically, if you will. And it's so important to kind of have that plan with your team before you move into a divorce.
And Jenny Ray, you bring up an important point. See, Harris helps you plan for after the divorce and what to do during the divorce to have a life after. In fact, that's part of their seminar series. And guess what? You can get those seminars, both the past and find out about the new ones at harrisfamilylaw.com/webinars. harrisfamilylaw.com/webinars. 303-515-5000.
Don't let depression, anxiety, trauma, or addiction take your future from you. At the Raleigh House, their dedicated team of professionals understand that where you've been is different than where you're going. Offering both inpatient and outpatient services, the Raleigh House can create a treatment plan that works for you. This is your time. Take it. If you or someone you love is suffering, call 720-797-8717. The Raleigh House is here to help.
Hi, it's Glenn Beck. Have you been thinking about selling your home? If you want the most money, call the agent that I would call, Troy Hansford. Troy sells more houses for more money than anyone in Denver. And his secret is he...
No, how do they get away with saying? Because it's not true.
No, I don't know. Because nobody calls them out on it.
I don't know. Yeah. I do know this. I do know it has to be a set price that they agree upon. So if the home is worth, let's say, $600, they'll say, okay, our guaranteed price is $520. That benefits them, not the person.
Yeah, big deal.
And they're not going out on a big limb either.
So one of the brokers I used to work for offered that, and he told me when he would offer that, he would have a significantly lower, like an investor price, but also at that point, his particular commission rate was really elevated.
Oh, yeah. And
for people to agree to that, because he had a tiered commission, and should they choose to go with that, it was a significantly elevated commission.
There's a guy in Arizona that does this program. He does the same thing these guys all do. They say, okay, if we can't sell it, we'll pay the difference, we'll buy it in cash. And I asked him, we talked for about a good 40 minutes, and he told me the same thing as what he says he has to take.
How's Talib doing? You've talked to him?
Where it's at a low price.
Just on YouTube a couple times.
That's the goal. To me,
he's doing fine, I assume.
If you're going to make an offer, do it for real. Don't be
Yeah.
To me, it's just not very genuine.
And this orchard thing that advertising, so they buy your home.
Yeah.
And they say, well, if we sell it for more, what's their incentive to sell it for more?
Yeah.
If all the extra goes to the homeowner.
I talked to a seller that interviewed them, and what
Yeah.
he said, it was kind of the same thing. They'll buy it for a lot less, but then what they don't tell you is there's like a 7% commission they'll charge upon. So there's a, you know, it sounds good on paper, but then when you look at the fine details, it's not as good as it sounds.
Right, that's what I thought.
Yeah. There's always a trade-off.
There is. The fees typically with those iBuyers, you typically exceed what you would pay in realtor commission.
Or if you
and you really have no advocacy at that point either. Like, nobody's advocating for you. No one's doing anything to help you.
Or if you Google has the buyers, AJ has the buyers, look how many agents say they have 14,000 buyers waiting. And it's all, they all take a picture with the same girl. It's all like this cookie cutter program. So if you look at that close, it's not even.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
I've
heard, yeah.
I would never believe that somebody has 14,000 buyers.
Well, Doc, there's not even 14,000 buyers in the Denver market.
Right.
No, not right now.
We're the biggest company. We don't have 14,000 buyers. I mean, you know,
yeah. I don't know.
Who says that?
For your family.
Let your savings work harder for you with Belco's premier money market account. Visit belco.org for details.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. 888heating.com, I recommend for replacements of heating and air, and I'm telling you they have some great products right now, some great deals, senior discounts, and also they have special air quality, indoor air quality equipment for a penny extra you get when you install heating and air with them, 303-770-2776. So, we have Smarty Marty on. No, we don't, do we? Oh, yeah, we do, with an update. And Smarty wants to talk about Champion Windows. A guy called about Champion a while ago, and he said, or she said, what was the problem with Champion? I'm trying to find it here. Who was the one that called in, Smarty? Which one is this? Because I have a
Fred Sonnenfeld.
Fred. Okay, Fred. Okay.
I have other updates first, and the reason.
But what happened with Fred?
Well, let's hold off only because Champion is supposed to be calling any minute now.
Okay.
Because he said he's just finishing up with a client.
Okay.
About 2 minutes ago, he said he'll be calling in. So let's wait on that.
Okay. All right.
All right. So you had a caller yesterday who just moved from Colorado to Florida, and he wanted insurance. And I got a broker who did speak to him.
Oh, yeah. He was looking for someone comparable to our Compass Insurance Group here. He wanted to know someone who was reputable in Florida, and I recommended he not use a captive agent and that he use an independent broker.
So I got him a hold of my agent.
Good.
And they've been speaking, and he's working on quotes for this gentleman. That's all I know right now.
Good.
You had a caller named Charlene versus Verizon, where she's waiting for a refund.
This older woman, because
yes.
she said she was hoodwinked into grabbing it. She got the phone, it didn't work, and she sent the phone back, and she's not getting a refund.
Right. So I got a hold of Media Relations, and they forwarded me a note saying that they will put this in the correct party's hands. And so far, they have not reached out to her. So I sent another note to the same.
And what was her name? What was her name?
Charlene.
Okay, I got her. See, we had, believe it or not, we've had more than one that has had this problem. But I see Charlene's problem, and this was in August of 2022. So are they going to get her a refund?
Well, the Media Relations said they're going to put it in the hands of the proper party.
Good.
Media Relations is not, in charge of that.
Right.
But so far, Charlene has not heard from anybody. So I sent another email to the same party of Media Relations saying, hey, so far Charlene has not heard from you.
All right.
So that's that one.
Do you feel they're really going to do? Did they sound sincere or like a kiss off?
The Media Relations person sounded sincere. I mean, she sent me a note. Well, you know what? I didn't speak to her. It's all email.
Okay, that's
so
fine.
I can't judge if they're sincere.
All right.
You know, it could be a computer program for all I know. So the next case before we get to Champion is Denise and Ron Balabat. They were waiting for a contractor to pull a permit for some air conditioning work.
Yeah, Denise and Ron. I said DNA Heating.
Okay. So I got a hold of the contractor on Saturday, and he claims he did put in the proper papers, and he told Denise she could check with the online on the city, and she did, and it is indeed. She
claimed he didn't pull a permit.
Yeah, but it's in process. It is, and Denise did verify it. I just spoke with her this morning. She said it is in process, and the contractor did pay for it on Monday.
Okay, good.
So I'm wondering if my phone call on Saturday expedited him to pay.
Well, let's put it this way. You know what I say in this business? Who cares as long as it gets done? But I think there's no such thing as coincidences. So now, Champion, do you want to wait until the representative calls in?
No, I can. Well, I'll tell you now, and maybe he'll call in a few minutes, and you can just repeat it if you want. How do you want to handle it?
Let's talk about it now since you're on the phone.
Okay, because he says he's calling it momentarily.
Champion, by the way, is, I don't know if they're keeping the name, but they were purchased by someone. Is this Fred?
It'd be nice to get the scoop from somebody.
Yeah, is this Fred's problem, by the way?
Fred is the customer.
Yeah, that's the one I have up here. Okay, good.
Okay.
So he bought a patio and a door. He contacted them 5 weeks ago to do a patio and a door, signed a contract, paid $13,000. They said they would work with the HOA to get approval. HOA is now asking questions, and no one from Champion is responding.
Okay. So I got a hold of the sales representative, and it's pretty much a simple fix. According to the sales rep, Fred is very shy. He doesn't really communicate what he wants. And the sales rep says he's willing to work with the guy, and the guy has not been calling him. They were supposed to call. The customer was supposed to call last night at 8:30 p.m., and he has not done it. So the rep called me this morning saying, I can't do anything until he.
So they haven't started work yet.
Right. That's correct.
So they're waiting for HOA approval, but why doesn't the sales rep just answer the HOA? Apparently the HOA, did this guy not hear from the HOA?
According to the sales rep, there's a communication issue that the customer is supposed to reach out to HOA. And the rep did read all the complaints by Fred, and he says some of them are legitimate. Some of these complaints are indeed legitimate, but the customer has to call me.
I want you to hold on. Marty. I got to take a break, but I want to talk to you about something regarding Champion, if you don't mind. 303-713-TALK.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Tudor Dixon Podcast.
A pretty standard drive throughout the Denver Metro. Normal slowdowns before we hit that 11 o'clock hour. I-25 north and southbound showing posted speeds into and out of downtown. Up on the northeast end of Commerce City, I-270 westbound. Heavy congestion between I-70 and Vasquez through roadwork. I-70 east and westbound. No complaints from the foothills to DIA and back again. South of DIA to Aurora, I-225 north and southbound. Easy driving as well. Fox 31, pinpoint weather. Cloudy out there, but warm with a high of 77 degrees. Enjoy it while it lasts. Tomorrow, a definite dip in temperatures with a high of 51. Chance of rain. The current temperature is 68 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Coming up on the next episode of the Tudor Dixon podcast, why is the left so eager to push the trans agenda on our kids? Don't miss the eye-opening episode with Yaku Boyens. Catch the Tudor Dixon podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
The best water heater deals anywhere. I'm telling you, that's what it is. That's EuroPlumbingColorado.net. Here's the deal. If you want a 40-gallon tank fully installed, the old one taken out, thrown away, and you want new supply lines for the gas and water, you'll get it done for $12.99. That's right. A 50 gallons, $13.99. And no matter what else you want, he'll beat anyone's price. That's EuroPlumbingColorado.com. The best deals on water heaters. 303-668-6844. Now listen, this is a deal that everyone will like, and that is getting extra cash. David Ellis Jewelry. All you have to do is take your jewelry there that you don't want. Now, it doesn't have to be junk. He doesn't buy just junk, although he will buy junk and weigh it and pay it. But let's say you have some vintage, antique, or used jewelry. He'll buy that too. 3rd and Clayton, look for the Black Awning, a name we've trusted for 40 years. Don't ever go to Facebook Marketplace or any kind of list online or meet people, please, that you don't know. Do it the right way. DavidEllisJewelry.com, 303-322-8779. If you're ever in trouble, unfortunately, by the way, this is one of this, spring and summer, along with the holidays, of course, but spring and summer, a lot of people have cookouts and stuff, and they start being outdoors more, the days are longer, and they drink more. And they drink and drive. It's a bad mistake. If ever you get a DUI, don't ever try to represent yourself, even if you realize you made a stupid mistake. You've learned your lesson. You still need an attorney. And Joe Lazara is there for you for any crime. And, of course, no one expects to be charged with anything. Sometimes even an argument with a neighbor can end up in a verbal assault charge. Here's what you want to do. Call an attorney that I know and trust. Don't shop when you're under pressure. Joe Lazara, 303-429-6200. Free consultations and then flat rate pricing, 303-429-6200.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather.
Sure as fuck don't want to do it on a weekend.
No.
So let's do it like Thursday evening or something.
Okay, let me look.
And then what do you think about this? He either wants to do it at the hotel right next to Maggiano's right here in the DTC, or do you think I should try to get that room here downstairs?
I don't know, actually. I don't know that.
That shirt is awesome, Mark. Love it.
I just thought
What do you think, though?
I'd rather go to a place. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, honey. Yeah. Okay. Good. Good.
And I have a pretty good book of business down there. I'm grateful and really blessed.
Hilton.
My baby. Christina Hitchens. She graduated this year.
All right. I do. I'll let you know. I'll do it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I don't know. What did they do? Anything? So, the room is exactly the same. Now, I saw all the shelving removed. How can you possibly say it's exactly the same? Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. I know. I've been checking. That should have been emptied yesterday. No, actually, today's Thursday. Never mind. It's empty today. Okay. I'll see. I will.
Is that about our people?
Well, yeah, they're not there today. I left the door.
Oh.
I mean, they were supposed to be there. They were there yesterday from 2 to about 6. But I don't care. I told him it's not. Yeah, they haven't been there.
What you haven't done, Tom?
That room behind the studio.
Yeah.
You told her to talk to me
Completely
about
finished.
verifying Google.
I'm putting a
I have
recording
nothing to do
studio.
with any of that. I don't.
I have no idea. Soundproof.
Tom, when Google calls wanting to verify us, do you want Kelly to verify us? I don't have anything like.
Verify us how?
I don't know.
Sounds like a scam.
Oh, that's what I thought
It does
too.
sound
Kelly
like a
says.
I've already verified Troubleshooter Network.
Okay.
I get multiple calls.
Okay.
And I've done the same thing, so it's probably.
I'll tell her.
Yeah, it's probably phishing.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Justin is with Champion Windows, so I'd like to talk to Justin directly. And he's on the phone right now. Justin, we're at the top of the hour, or at the bottom, however you look at the end of the hour, but I want to give you some time here. If you could hold if we run out of time. If not, go ahead, Justin. Factory was acquired recently. I mean, Champion was acquired recently, right?
That's correct, yes.
And who acquired them?
Great Day Investments, I believe.
Were you with Champion before this, or are you with Great Day?
I was not. So I was a hire basically right around the time Great Day was acquiring Champion. So I started in December of 2020.
You know, Justin, Champion had a great heritage here in Denver. It really did. One of the oldest home improvement companies. It had a factory here. It had a wonderful general manager or president or vice president, whatever you call them. And they did, in fact, I did their commercials. I loved them. And then they went to hell. And I hate telling you that, but we got nothing but complaint after complaint after complaint. And it was like, what the hell's happening? Now, to be fair, I can't tell you it happened after 2020. A lot of them were before 2020, but we've had a few. What is your take on this? Go ahead.
So look, I mean, for starters, you know, I can't tell you for what experiences were before I started. For the most part, all of my customers personally have had positive experiences. And then I'll tell you why I believe some people may have not had a positive experience is this. Champion's got 40 locations throughout the U.S. You got to remember that, right? And so whatever sales rep is local is your best point of contact. And I've explained this to Fred, and you know, from the very beginning when we signed the contract. Look, Fred, any questions, call me directly. And the reason I say that is when you try to get a hold of corporate, when you try to call the office or what have you, you got to remember 40 locations of customers are all calling that phone number. And it makes it very difficult to handle all those calls and to get answers for every individual caller with a timely manner.
Why don't they put in regional customer service for each one?
Right, that could be a solution, or you can do what I'm referring to now, right, which is what all of our sales managers and all of our local managers tell us to do is very much explain to all our customers. And again, I would say that all of my clients have had a very positive experience, and this is because of this. So all of our customers, for example, everyone's calling Cincinnati, Ohio through 40 locations throughout the country. Only Justin's customers call Justin directly, right? So what I tell every client when I sign a contract is I say, here's my cell. You call me at 10 o'clock on a Sunday. You call me at 10 a.m. on a Monday. It doesn't matter. I'll make sure to answer that call. And if I don't answer, it just means I'm with another customer, and I'll get back with you as soon as I can.
All right. But, okay, while that's wonderful for people who have Justin, the problem is most people don't have Justin, right? Or unless you're the only salesman here. If you'd like to talk about that, hang on.
This is Steve Powers here with Polestar Denver. Let's bust some myths about electric cars.
He's one sales rep that he can't change the entire corporate structure.
Well,
I mean, he makes suggestions.
30 years of this, I'm finally kind of hitting my stride.
He's a good guy. It sounds
Yep.
like he cares. But you can't base, for example, I wouldn't feel comfortable recommending people to a company where one guy who's a salesperson happens to say, well, they use me, they'll have a great experience. That's basically what he's saying.
Well,
that's like Frank saying, well, you know, I don't believe in Frank Durant Homes, but if they use me, I'll take care of it.
But if he's taking care of the metropolitan area, there should be an issue.
He's not a rep. He's not a manager, this guy.
Is this a good time for me to speak?
Yeah, of course, Steph.
Yeah, I just gotta go handle this phone contract thing. It won't take long.
Yeah, we're going to get more into real estate as the calls thing.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure.
Troy Hansford Real Estate.
Here are the listings for Troy Hansford Real Estate within 11 miles.
Attorney General.
Thank God they're keeping the city safe.
This lawsuit seeks $250 million in damages and to bar any Trump from running a business here. But look, there will be a trial in October that Trump has been trying to delay.
Doc, you ever hear of Jordan Belfort?
Oh, yeah, he was the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah. Ever read his book?
Who was the Wolf of Wall Street?
Jordan Belfort.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm reading his book. I've been studying his book in depth.
Is he smart?
He's real smart. He was a crook, though. He got in a lot of trouble, and he went to prison.
Wolf of Wall Street
Yeah.
movie?
He was a stock trader, and he went to prison, got out, changed his ways, and wrote a book, and only in America, right? But it's, the guy's sharp, though. He's smart.
DiCaprio played him?
Yeah, yeah. I've never seen the movie. I'm just studying his book.
The movie was very bizarre.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was. That's why I didn't see it. I heard about it. I liked it.
Well, I know you would like it because there was some nudity in it.
Really?
Yeah, he liked DiCaprio's ass, I think.
He, they portrayed this just
Oh yeah, things are great.
as a drunk, drug-obsessed womanizer.
And he was.
I don't know
Well,
how
he
much
admitted
it
it,
was
right?
true, but there was a lot of drugs in the movie.
Yeah, see, I'll never watch that movie, but for his book, I'm studying his method. It's called Straight Line Selling,
Which is
and basically he talks about how to like when you present something, how to do it with effectiveness, and it's a good book from a strategy standpoint. So I've been through the book. I've studied this
Is
thing.
the name of the book Wolf of Wall Street?
No, it's called Straight Line Selling, The Way of the Wolf. Yeah. So I've studied it, and then what I've done is I've taken all the notes, went through it line by line. This is a 7-hour book, Tom. So I went through this thing line by line. So every morning I spend like a half hour just taking notes.
Is he that good at selling?
Oh, he's terrific. I mean, but see, I want to study the method, not his other nonsense. Yeah, yeah. But he's really a sharp guy. He talks about just how to build rapport with people, how to ask for the sale the right way without being pushy and being salesy kind of thing. So he has a lot of knowledge, a lot of knowledge.
You're so successful what you do. Is there a change in your method based on that?
Not necessarily, but see, Doc.
You've been so successful at the way you do it.
Well, I study about 12 books a year usually, and when I'm driving, I listen to audiobooks all the time. And then every morning I'll spend about an hour to 2 hours, depending on the day, and I'll study something in real estate. I'll study real estate law, because you have to stay sharp. And to me, reading books helps keep me sharp. So that's why I do it, is just to stay sharp. Not because I think he's shown me a lot of new stuff, but there's always something new you can learn. Always a way to get better.
But it's not changing a strategy. It's just fine tuning.
Yeah, that's what I would say. And I would say that. But Brian Tracy, he's got a great book.
Who's he?
Brian Tracy, he's a trainer and a motivational speaker, and he has a really incredible book called The Miracle of Self-Discipline. And the concept of it is, it works a lot like compound interest. Is every day you pour something in, and you're going to get better. You gradually get better, but you have to invest that time every day. And he talks about being disciplined in daily habits. It's a great book, and I've been through that one a couple of times. So I try to get through his book about once a year, just because I like it.
Does the way of the straight line selling, does he outline in a logical way, or is it in between all this fucking stuff?
Here's what he says. Logically, it's pretty easy to follow. He says there's basically 5 codes when a buyer buys. How much do they love your product? Do they connect and trust you? Do they connect with your company? They have what's called the action threshold. Like, some people have a really high action threshold, like they're not very motivated to do anything, versus a low action threshold. Yeah, and then they have it's called the pain threshold. In other words, what is their motivator? Why is it important to them to buy or sell? He talks about those 5 things. Yeah.
Do you think the industry in which you're selling has any? Is there a difference between selling cars and selling real estate?
I think. Well.
Would you be a good car salesman?
Yeah, I know he could. He was a good tire salesman.
Yeah, I think it's connecting with people, Doc. I think that's the thing. and building.
I wasn't putting them down.
No, I know you weren't.
No,
Meeting
because
needs.
because I don't mean these guys say, hey, this is the greatest deal of all time. That's nonsense. People they smell that a mile away. I think it's connecting with people and building their trust and having credibility. I think credibility in selling, credibility is probably the top thing. Is what they call reverence power. They have what's called personality power, charisma.
But doesn't credibility have to be established?
Yeah, it has to be established, and you have to back it up consistently.
You get a job at a company, right?
Yeah.
How do you get credibility?
You
build it.
You build it, yeah. You build it.
It's not instant.
Yeah.
Unless there are tricks to faking.
I think you have to build it, man. I don't. I think there's substance. You have to have what they say is proofs in the pudding. They say, I think you have to back it up, but you have to do it consistently too. You have to get up. My opinion is you got to get up every day with that attitude that I'm starting today at 0, and it doesn't matter if I did something. God blessed me to do something great yesterday. I've got to do something better going forward. That's how you have to think. My opinion. You start every day at 0.
In my world, one unhappy patient is ruined you for a long time.
Yeah, you could. You have to.
Who she's going to speak to.
Yeah, and you have to use wisdom, Doc. You have to qualify when you go out on appointments. Qualify them, and make sure it's something that you can serve, because not everybody's a client, and you have to use wisdom. I think that way too is qualification.
That's right. Not
everybody. You've got to be able to produce what you promise.
Yes, every time, man. Every time you have to be able to produce. That's why I say I start every day at 0. It doesn't matter what I did yesterday. Today I've got to.
Is YouTube not on? People are asking about YouTube. I see it. I see it. It's on. I see it.
I see it.
Do you know where Mark is?
He just left. I went to the restroom. Yeah, I have YouTube.
Okay. Hey, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. You know, from time to time we talk about companies and places and things and trends, and we seem here on the show to be a barometer of problems, improvements, trends, scams, whatever. That's what we do here because we take so many calls, so many. And we get so many emails, and so many texts, and so much information directly from consumers.
Oh, it's an honor to have
303-713-TALK. This hour brought to you by Water Pros. You can get a whole house water softening system installed expertly and low maintenance, $1,600. That's a special deal from the manufacturer, waterpros.net. Better than anything you're going to find on the market. Plumbers charge like $8,000. You can also go to paulthewaterman.com, 303-862-5554. Let's continue talking about trends. I don't want to belabor this because I don't believe in and of themselves Champion's a bad company. But they had a tremendous downfall in this market where our complaints went from 0 to dozens. And it started right after Paul Bono retired. And that's a hell of a thing. And then the factory closed. It's a hell of a thing when one person holds it together like that and they don't know how to replace him. Now, Justin, he's a sales rep, basically. He's a good guy. He called us. He talked to Deputy Smarty Pants. He's a good guy. And what he is saying is that I understand there might be problems, but listen, we have one phone number that people call from all over the country. We have 40 locations. Naturally, there's going to be a logjam. But what I say, and my sales managers tell us, we are all in charge of our own people. So Justin is proud to be the customer service rep for his customers. I hope that I am summarizing that accurately, am I?
Yeah, that's about right.
So you're saying sales reps in general now are expected to, and I like that, expected to take care of their people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Now,
and Tom, if I may address just very quickly what you mentioned about how we closed our factory here locally.
Yeah.
Just to address that, that wasn't due to any type of financial problems or anything like that. The reason we had a local manufacturing plant here in Denver is because we're at such a high altitude, right? So what happens is when you build a window at a very low altitude and you bring it up high, it causes it to crack or cause seal
And
failure.
it loses its gas.
Correct, the
Right.
argon gas. That's what
Right.
seal failure is referred to as.
Yeah.
And so the technology became available for Champion to be able to pressurize in between the panes to the exact altitude of wherever that home is located at. And so obviously it's easier to have one factory than several. So there is a portion of the factory in Cincinnati, our main headquarters, that will specifically design windows for the altitude. So just to address that, it's not
So
that we're
right
closed
now,
down
right
for
now they've
negative.
consolidated and they have technology that can build windows for our altitude.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay.
Without
So
using
Justin,
capillary tubes.
are you saying that the takeover by this big company over Champion, that took place when?
I couldn't tell you the exact date. I know that it was in the works right around the time that I started, which was in December of 2020.
Now, Mark, when do you think that the complaints started coming in a few years ago? Have we had a lot of complaints since this new consolidator took over?
We haven't had a lot, and I'd say 6 months.
Okay.
Maybe a little longer.
Maybe things are getting better then. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, we've got 4.5-star rating on Google with over 200,000 reviews. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a good rating right there. Based
Yeah,
upon,
you
and
know,
at the end of the day,
listen, reviews are credible if you look at all sources and look at them. But we hear from problems. Okay, we don't hear people are having a great time. We hear from people having trouble.
Do you guys do a lot of door knocking?
Not that I understand, no. For the most part, we're mailing in, we're spending money on that, and that's one of the big benefits of Great Day. They spend a lot of money on marketing, so we don't have to do door knocking.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah. And as reps, it's appreciated. We go to good qualified leads, and we're meeting with people that are serious about getting their windows done.
So this one guy said that he needed some information for his HOA, and he could not get a call back.
Right. So in reference to Fred, I mean, for one, I just want to make it very clear. I'm not here to say anything bad about Fred. I think he's a great guy, and I 100% take responsibility for the fact that he has not had a positive experience. And let me start with that. And then from there, I would like to say maybe Fred just needed to communicate with me a little better. For example, the very beginning, the day we sign contracts, right, I tell this to all my customers. Champion has a little box that says, is HOA approval needed? The customer will check yes or no. And then we go over that little box with every client, and we say, hey, look, in the event that HOA approval is required, you're responsible for retrieving that approval, but I personally will work with you and send you anything you need to obtain said approval. Maybe I didn't communicate that good enough to Fred. I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you. But I do make it a point to always explain that to customers. So what happened in Fred's case is he's calling the customer service number, and he's not calling me, right? And so he's not getting answers because they, of course, he's an in-process customer. So there's no information for customer service in Ohio who's usually dealing with service after the fact.
All right, well, Justin, I appreciate you calling in, and thank you. I mean, I don't know what else to say, but, we'll reserve judgment. We'll see what's happening because, as Mark said, they have complaints have subsided a bit. But thank you for the information. And are you allowed to cross-sell into other brands under Great Day's ownership or just Champion?
No. So as far as Great Day's involved, they're the ones that, pay for the advertising, et cetera, but Champion is its own entity.
Okay.
We only deal with Champion customers and Champion products.
All right. Thank you very much. That's Justin. He's a factory sales rep.
There are so many industries doing exactly what this Great Day company is doing. Think about home services, Tom. These conglomerates go out, and we know some of them. They go out and buy up every ma and pa. Some of them, they operate under different names.
Fix It 24/7.
Yeah, I mean, he owns so many different companies, different names in different towns. It's kind of funny thinking about, 5 years down the road? Is it a handful of window companies that operate everything?
But when George does it with Fix It, he does it and improves the local operations. You know,
I'm not saying good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
What I'm just saying, eventually, in a lot of industries, you're going to have 2 or 3 players that own the space.
Right. You know, hey, listen, home services in general, whether it be improvements or services, that there is a big move, a very, very big move to consolidate. And they work under one giant company with independent entities. By the way, if you have a problem, question, or complaint, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. We're going to talk about real estate, and more than that. Since Frank Duran, the real estate man, is literally number one in what he does, and I know you hear ads to the contrary, like, I'm number one, I'm number one, I'm number one, I sell more, I sell more. Ask people for stats, real stats. Now, I'm not pitting Frank against people. That's not the purpose of this introduction. I'm going to talk to him after the break on what makes good sales. I am sure that he looks for certain qualities in people because he has a team approach. He has people who help him. And I will say, like when I dealt with Michael, I thought I was dealing with Frank who had a mask on. And that's a good thing. That's called consistency of promise and consistency of brand. And if you're in business, you'd love to hear it, I'm sure. So stay tuned. I'm Tom Martino.
I've tried a lot of language learning apps lately, and Rosetta Stone is hands down my favorite. I love that it teaches you phrases you can use in real-life conversations. And they have the best speech recognition tool. It tells you how accurate your pronunciation is, so you can really nail your accent. Learn almost any language you want, like Spanish, Italian, Chinese, and Korean. Or get access to all 25 languages for life with Rosetta Stone's lifetime unlimited subscription. Check it out at rosettastone.com.
Let's talk to Joe Chiano. And Joe is he on line 7? Is that him on line 7? Good. Hey, Joe, thanks. Joe, you know, you're in the business of helping people invest money and more than not, taking retirement money, keeping it retirement money, and making it safer. And there are terms called red money and green money. Lord knows, I have no idea what they're talking about. What does that mean?
Well, you know, Tom, you know, those terms are being used, especially today, by economists. You know, the red money is money that is really at risk, like money in the stock market. What used to work before in the stock market is not working anymore, and people are losing money. That is absolutely red money. It's dangerous, and people should be aware of that. You know, people should be asking themselves, do I have any red money at risk? Is my money at risk? Now, green money, on the other hand, is money that is totally safe, money that the consumer, people listening to you, Tom, are not going to lose one single penny. That is green money, money that's going to grow regardless of the economy, and they're going to get many benefits in addition to that. So red money is dangerous. Green money is actually safe. And this is what we do at Become the Banker. We only concentrate on green money. And we can take people's red money and just transfer it, easy transfer, into green money so they can stop.
And it's guaranteed in writing, backed by companies, more than 100 years old.
That is right, Tom. And everything is clear. You know, we believe in certainty,
right,
not uncertainty.
I'm going to give them the number to get in touch with you, 303-779-6600. There's no bull here, 303-779-6600, or becomethebanker.org. Hey, I'll tell you some other places where you don't find bull. Harris Family Law, you find straight information, harrisfamilylaw.com/webinars. You know, their series, Wiser Together, they want you to know about issues even before you hire them. Or maybe you don't ever hire them, but you get to know what family law is about. Separation, divorce, some of the pitfalls, some of the common mistakes, some of the wiser decisions to make. And you get that by simply going to their website free of charge. This wonderful information, harrisfamilylaw.com/webinars. If you've experienced mold, asbestos, even an unattended death in a property, sometimes illegal drug labs, or a fire, a flood, a broken pipe, whatever it is, you need what's called a restoration company. And here's the unfortunate news. If your insurance company picks one, most likely they pick somebody quick and easy and cheap. And then you get to clean up the mess if it's not done right, because your insurance company will only pay once. So here's my recommendation. Get the right company up front the first time. American Restoration 24/7 is that company, the company I use in my home, the company that I recommend to others. American Restoration 24/7. They have the EPA certifications, knowledge, and know-how, and professional associations to get the job done right. 8337-AM-REST. That's AM-REST. 8337-AM-REST. And online, amrest247.com. amrest247.com. Slow drains lead to messy backups. Get help from
Oh my God! I'll hit you up after you're done.
That's all I could tell you.
Okay.
Savor it, you know, because my gosh, they go so quick. It's unreal.
It is.
I was watching my boy last year graduate, and I'm thinking, my gosh, I know I was changing his diapers, and all of a sudden he's...
Aaron's a year behind her. Yeah. My grandma took me out on the way up here. I know, she's so beautiful.
Did I show you the one of the two of us though?
Oh, I don't think I saw that one.
I didn't post any of these. Yeah, I didn't post any of these.
Frank, we just moved Miles to Nebraska.
I saw that.
Really hard.
I know.
So tough.
That's incredible. What a good young man, though. You've installed
he's
so much
killing it out
good in
there.
him.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I know,
He's
that's
already,
awesome.
you know, going crazy out there with his seniors and all that. It's crazy. But it is windy and cold up there.
Both of your kids grew up to be awesome, and they have good parents,
Good.
and you could tell they have.
Well, I mean,
wonderful
it doesn't
things
have to
told.
be a girl.
You could just tell that.
Yeah.
You could see that. That's awesome.
That was a tough move.
Yes.
You guys just wait.
heartbreaking.
You just wait.
I know.
Oh my gosh, Avery's telling me like her
No,
last
that's not true.
Oh, man.
in May, and then she's moving down to the Springs right after graduation. She's moving in with Megan, my sister, because she's going to college down there.
Oh my
And
gosh.
she wants to go down and get a job and like kind of get her feet wet, you know, being in.
There was one I saw earlier. Is a couple of chicks trying to figure out how to get gas into a Tesla.
All right, 303-713-8255. Man, we've got a lot going on today. Hey, tell me, guys, real estate market right now, and I'm talking to Frank Duran and Stephanie Thomas. She's with Coldwell Banker Realty up in Colorado Springs or the Pike Peaks region. And Frank, you basically don't go to Fort Collins, but you cover almost everything on this side of the border to what? Castle Rock, Larkspur, you go east. I know you sold or you were my realtor out in Franktown, so you definitely go east. What areas do you cover?
Boy, Mark, we go all over, all the Denver metro and surroundings. So from, Firestone North all the way down to Castle Rock, Elizabeth, Franktown, from Kingsburg all the way to Golden and everything in between. We cover pretty big territory. And then when we get our Colorado Spring friends, I know where to send them to my good friend Stephanie Thomas over here.
Yeah, you were talking about one that you sent over to her that you just got listed. So you go all the way up to... Where do you stop in the mountains? I know you know Woodland Park. You guys live up there.
Oh, yeah. So I'll work out in Park County as well as far as Fairplay, Hartselle. So I'm really versed with
How
the
far
land
east?
lots.
Pueblo?
So Pueblo's going to be a little south for me. That's a different MLS.
Oh,
I know
of
Pueblo
course.
West, which is kind of closer to Fountain and Colorado Springs.
Got it.
So I can do some things out there. I'll go out east, Yoder, Calhan, all of that as well. And then, of course, a little bit north up to, the Monument area anyway.
Okay, I got to ask you guys both something. So housing in general, I've been looking, and Frank knows this. In fact, both of you know this. We've been looking out in Louisiana just for a lake house, and it's going down very quick there. I'll look at the same listings now that I get from my realtor out there. Anytime there's a price update, that's something that I'm looking at, it'll send me an email, and I'm seeing them go down. I saw one drop 10,000, then 20,000, then it dropped another 10,000, and then it dropped another 10,000. So it dropped 40,000 in less than a month. And it's not just that one property. I'm seeing it out there everywhere. What's going on here? Frank.
Mark, it has been hot out here, and I tell you, I think the thing people have to think about is a true buyer's market is typically about 6 months of inventory. And a balanced market is somewhere between 90 to 6 months. We're nowhere near that mark. We're just a little over 1.61 inventory for single-family homes. Homes are moving. I've had about 8 or 9 in a row. I've had bidding wars. 2 of them we had a challenge with the appraisal because we sold them so high, the appraiser was struggling coming up with the comps. Now, fortunately, we had enough demand created where the buyer would put some skin in the game, and that benefited the seller. So I would tell you this, going into spring and summer, unless something changes geopolitically, I think it's going to very much favor sellers, although I think buyers are going to have more choices this year than they had last year. Yeah.
You know what's crazy is the Feds, by raising interest rates, they were actually trying to cool down the housing market.
They were.
I mean, for real, and it doesn't seem like it worked. It is amazing. And I'm just talking about this area right now. It is absolutely amazing to me that people are still buying close to the level they were at 2 and 3% on a 30-year fixed, and now it's what, close to what, 6, 7?
It is, yeah.
That's amazing. If you look at what people could afford 2 years ago, just based upon 3.5 interest points, I mean, you're talking $1,000 to $2,000 less a month. I don't know how that did not affect everything.
You know, Mark, you think it would.
What do you think they underestimated? Like, if you go back to Jimmy Carter days, when like Tom, you've talked about your first house.
14%.
No one was buying anything.
14%.
Companies had to stand up when people got transferred to buy the mortgage down so they could move people.
Mark, we've been relatively spoiled, though. If you think about it, rates were below 4. Suddenly they go to 7. There's a little bit of sticker shock, but 7's really not that bad. Think about the 80s.
Not historically, it's not.
That's right, historically.
But recently it has been. But Denver's on fire with a lot of things.
That's
By the way, Denver is on fire with business, employment, crime, all the stuff that comes with growth.
Number 1, car theft.
And scams. Really, it is. Consumer scams. I find that hard to believe, but number 1 victims, the per capita, more victims per capita. So it is a place to have this show. That's for damn sure. If you have a problem, question, or complaint, you've been ripped off, call us 303-713-TALK. But okay, so on real estate, you're saying mortgages had an immediate impact, but then that sticker shock wears off and people start buying again because they know they can't sit still, right? Right? I mean, they can. I mean, they can, but I mean, some people don't have the choice.
Yeah, I think people need homes, and, you know, just our lives move us here and there and everywhere, and people still need homes.
Now, Frank said that he was doing great down up here. How's it doing in the Springs?
So
Still great?
What I'm seeing in the Springs is really price point driven. Our price point, our median price point, is significantly lower than the Denver market. My last few listings, I've had under $450. I've had a pretty.
Are they comparable houses? Like what? What I mean not comparable. Like, does $450 in the Springs get you way more house than here?
I think so, yeah.
What is the median price?
So our median right now for March was $463 and change. So significantly lower than the Denver market.
What's the median here?
$620, single family.
Is the median?
$620, and the average detached, Tom.
$620 meaning as many houses below and above.
Yeah.
Right, and the average detached was $743. The attached properties were $475 average.
Average or median?
Median $620, but for condos, I'm just talking attached properties or townhomes, $475 was the average.
Can you believe it?
Detached is $743.
Median is actually more of an indicator than average can be skewed by some really expensive houses.
Pradera? No. What was the not the last condo you had, the one before?
Oh, I had Landmark, then I had Pantera.
Pantera, that little one you had, I think it was just a 1-bedroom, right? Maybe a 2-bedroom.
Yeah, Frank helped me get that.
I bet
and he sold it.
What did you pay for it? Forget about what you sold. Do you even remember?
Do you remember, Frank?
Not Landmark.
Was it for something? Wasn't it for something?
That takes me back.
I think it was for something.
I bet that thing's $800 now.
Well,
a condo.
We sold it. Frank sold it. I didn't do anything. I think, Frank, we made $200 on that one. So
we did pretty well.
600 and some.
And
no, 200 on that one, 600 on the other.
I bet you that thing's 8 now. Do you think it is, Frank, or close to?
Oh, probably, Mark. And I think that one too, Tom. I think we double-ended that one where we had the buyer. I think.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah.
Of course you did.
So that worked out.
A young woman. She loves the place.
Yes.
She made some money, too. Yeah. And then the penthouse, he set the record. He set the record for Landmark so far.
For a while, we had it.
Oh, well, I don't know. Did they break that record?
I haven't checked in a while.
I don't think they're selling that well. No, I think the problem with condos...
Well, yours was all furnished, though.
No, we didn't sell it furnished. We bought it furnished.
Oh, you didn't sell it with all that furniture?
No, we didn't.
Man, it was laid out nice.
It was their model, man.
It was gorgeous. I knew you couldn't have decorated that.
No. But I'll tell you this. Here's the thing, okay? When you live in a condo, the only danger I bring up is you are living with everyone. Even if you have your own place, if you have a badly run HOA and management company, it is miserable. No matter how wonderful your condo is, it is miserable. I'm not saying it was miserable. East-West Partners were in charge when I first got it, but when they when the HOA took over, the actual HOA and all of the people associated with the HOA, it went to hell. I mean, the dues, Mark, not the mortgage, not the insurance. The dues were near $3,000 a month.
I was just going to say that. That's the problem with some of the nicer condos. You can move in, and before you realize it, you're at $2,000 to $4,000 a month
with taxes.
For dues.
Listen, in a really luxury high-rise, with taxes and insurance and HOA fees, if you had the place paid off, you could be paying $4,000 to $5,000 a month. Think about that for a paid off place.
Yeah, I got it. Trust me, I got it.
Now I had a mortgage to that. How many people can do that?
Not many.
But they are a little tougher to move, but they are moving, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, they're moving. I mean, there's a little bit more inventory in that market, Tom, but overall they are moving. I mean, everything overall has been moving as long as it's priced right.
Now,
how about rentals? Do you guys, either of you, track rentals? Are they going up or down? Whether it's an apartment, a personal...
I think rentals are becoming more of a pain in the ass than ever in the world, so I would think they'd be less incentivized. What about you guys?
I don't do rentals personally, but what I've heard, just the temperature of rentals, with the interest rates going up a little bit, I've heard that it's a much more competitive market there. Rents are going up. It's harder for people to get in a good rental. So.
Now, I'm not talking. When I say get into a rental, you mean a landlord buying a
rental?
No.
No. I mean like a tenant trying to get
no.
into.
That's what I was curious about.
I was talking about landlords, or not. Let's just say people who want to buy income property. I'd say that has to be way down on rentals because they're making it more and more difficult.
I don't know. There's people from out of the country buying up any rental constantly now.
Guys?
I've seen... Go ahead, Frank. I was going to say, I've seen a little bit of that. I've seen definitely a lot of phishing emails, with investors, letters of intent, things that don't really hold a lot of weight. Still, we discuss those with our clients. But I know that interest rates for second homes and interest rates for investment properties have really gone up. That's made it a little more difficult.
Proportionally.
Again, that increases rents, so it's kind of one of those systems
now,
that it all goes up.
I'm going to mention...
hold on. Let me bring this up real quick.
Got to take a break. Go ahead.
Number of U.S. properties bought by Chinese in 2022. 40,000 residential properties in 1 year. They're gobbling up properties everywhere.
Yep. Okay. When we come back, I want to talk about something. Not that we're going anywhere. We're all going to stay right here, and you should too. But after the break, I want to talk to you about fix and flips. Is it even possible? Do people even do it? And then another trend I've been seeing, which is infills. They're actually scraping houses and building new ones. And there's all kinds of new homes for sale within the city. I'm Tom Martino.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Tudor Dixon Podcast.
A typical drive throughout the Denver Metro for that 11 o'clock hour into downtown. I-25 southbound showing its normal slowdowns between I-70 and Spear Boulevard. Northeast of there to Commerce City, I-270 westbound. Significant slowdowns between I-70 and I-76 through ongoing road work. Over to the airport. Pena Boulevard southbound looking at some slower traffic between Tower Road and 56th. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, mostly cloudy skies out there. Another warm one with a high of 76. 47 degrees. Tomorrow, temperatures are way down, high of 51. The clouds rolling in today are bringing a chance of rain tomorrow. The current temperature in Denver is 69 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Coming up on the next episode of the Tudor Dixon podcast, the one and only Shannon Bream of Fox News joins me to discuss her new book, The Love Stories of the Bible Speak. Catch the Tudor Dixon podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, I want to tell you about something that finishes any home. And God, I'm glad I know them because they do the greatest service when it comes to garage door coatings, and that's Garage Kings. If you want a place that guarantees the lowest price, plus no money down, and dependable, that's GarageKings.com. 720-252-0370. They've withstood the test of time and of durability. In fact, years ago, before I knew them, I had something done, and now I need them to repair some of it because guess what? I started getting some failure in certain areas. That's a bad sign. GarageKings.com. Get the right company up front. 720-252-0370. And talking about getting the right company up front, what about the Art of Granite? Now, the name says the Art of Granite. I've always said this. It should say the Art of Countertops because they do it all. Any kind of stone, any kind of man-made stone, any kind of flat material, they do. Solid surface. It's theartofgranite.com. And what they'll do is do cost on all materials. They tear out haul away free. They do the bathroom free. When you do the kitchen, they'll give you a price on the phone. I love this guy, Mitch Fluria and his team, 303-386-5919. 386-5919.
Children's Hospital Colorado Mighty Millions raffle early bird prices coming in.
But I do think fuck you in your face.
Okay, I got a sign now, Susan.
Well, yes, you got a sign, but I don't understand. This is the only part I don't understand. If it applies to
A
you
waiver
or me.
election. We got to ask that guy. Well, hold on.
Do you ever, when you get a bad agent,
See, for
it's
you,
really difficult to work with?
this part. I
Do you
don't.
red flag them on your phone so if you have to deal with them again, you know that you remember them?
No,
that's
I have one. I have a mirror, but we don't have that, so it doesn't
No, that's good.
apply.
That's good. That's
that's
good.
one thing that I just need
So I
to
kind of
sign.
have that in the back of my head. But the only ones that
There.
ever go really wonky for me, there's only been a handful.
That's what I'm saying.
So
Yeah, you
it's
get
like
a few.
I really vividly
You remember them,
remember.
don't you?
Yeah.
You know.
Tell Sally. So easy to work with, you know.
Yeah,
it's
I
like
am too.
collaborate.
I've got a few
Now
choice
I'm
words for Sally,
very much
right?
an advocate for my clients.
Yeah, you have to.
And I call them out
Because
on it.
And then
I don't.
now,
with
what do
her
I
too.
do with
But
this
when
now?
things are like
It's all done.
Oh, he said to upload it.
But
Scan it and send it to me, and I'll
I'm a
upload it.
big collaborator. It's like once we
Yep.
we're
Uploading.
really advocating our clients, but I'm approachable. Like, talk to me.
Good afternoon, Troubleshooter Show. Did you want to talk to Tom and the gang?
To work with them at capacity, but
Fantastic. Now listen, I am absolutely no help, and I have two experts.
What's the best time to
But,
list, guys? Someone's asking.
let me throw you on hold.
Oh.
And get you over to Kelly, who's actually.
Yeah, April, May, June, right. April, May. This is kind of the hot spring right now.
And then, okay, so when is the best time to put a property on sale?
yeah, definitely this time of year, spring for sure.
And then fix and flips in general. Are people, are they even on the market? Are people buying fix and flips still right now?
I don't see a whole lot of them. I do see them from time to time, just not in abundance.
I don't either right now a lot, and the thing is though is even you know for homes to be on the market now that we're a fix and flip, they would have acquired them 6, 8, 12 months ago.
They already fixed them.
Well, they were still in that really competitive market.
Got it.
So that's where I think that it was harder for them. They're not getting as good a deal because people were paying top dollar for everything pretty much. At least what I was experiencing.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of the ones where they gut them?
I don't see.
That did that for a while, and that group disbanded. But I was working with them, helping them acquire and resell properties. And I had one where side of the house was falling off completely. That was crazy.
I don't see it a lot, Stephanie. I see it from time to time, but I don't see it that much, guys.
I don't see as much anymore, really. When you do, it's more of like the lipstick flips.
But Mark, the people that bought back in 08, 09, 010, they cleaned house. They did really good.
Yeah.
Some of my sellers, wow, I can't even believe the prices they got those short sales
And
at
I don't
and
know,
turn
maybe
around
I'm
and sell them like
mistaken.
now.
Maybe it was here.
They made
I wish
some
I
money.
held on to that
Something
Castle Rock
weird,
property.
but
Oh
it
my
wasn't
gosh.
going
I could have too, with no issue. I mean, I didn't
Crystal?
need, just rented it out.
That was such a pretty house.
Yeah.
like here.
This one, the house we're in now, there's no rental for something that big, is there?
No, that's not really a prime rental. I don't know if Crystal would have really. I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, okay.
You're in Crystal now, but Rosemary, the Castle Rock one?
Or am I thinking? Okay, I'm so sorry. Rosemary.
Rosemary's Castle Rock. I could have rented that.
That one.
Maybe I don't know what.
I don't think I can. Unless if I found people with horses or something.
I don't know that you'd want to rent that one.
10, 12 grand a month.
Well, yeah, if you're getting that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but could you really get that much?
I have no idea.
Well,
if you had people with horses.
Listen, I rented for a while.
I don't really see them.
When I rented mine.
Franktown?
Before it sold, I rented it, and it was the biggest mistake I ever made. They fucked it up.
How much were you getting a month, though?
Back then, I don't know, like 8.
Yeah, okay.
And that was like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
25 years ago.
I know the place next to mine is renting for $3,500.
Hi, Tom Martino. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. So we're talking real estate or anything you want to talk about. Calls always take priority at 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Fix and flips, are they a bad word? Do people even buy them anymore? Anybody? We have Stephanie Thomas from Colorado Springs area, and Frank Duran, the real estate man here in town. So yes or no, fix and flips, are you even doing any?
I don't see a lot of them, Tom. They are out there. I just don't see them in great abundance.
God, they would have to be, because it's expensive to find them, even a rundown home, right, Steph?
It is, and, you know, like we were just talking about, the homes we would be seeing on the market right now would have been acquired, 6 to 12 months ago by the time they've done their renovations
Right.
and things, and with, all the various material delays and all of that.
And then
that
expensive
was,
materials, too.
Exactly, and it was a really, competitive market at that point, and even homes that needed work were selling for a really premium price.
Yeah.
So that profit margin wasn't really there. So I started seeing that kind of slow down just in general, what I was, coming across.
All right, let's talk to Sean. Sean, welcome to the show. What's going on, Sean?
Mr. Martino, Buddy Mitchell, from the owner of Simply Floors, told me to give you guys a call.
Yeah, Buddy Mitchell's a great guy, Simply Floors, Inc. So what's going on?
I've been having an issue with a restoration contractor, Professional Restoration.
What company?
Over here on
What
West
company?
They're called Professional Restoration on West 2nd Avenue in Denver.
Oh, man, I wish you would have called
ordered
American Restoration 24/7. So I want to ask you this then. What happened to your house? Let's start from the beginning. What happened?
In July of last year, my hot water heater burst.
It broke?
It's on the floor. Yes, it broke.
Okay, and what happened?
And it's on the main floor of the house. It flooded part of the bathroom, living room, and a part of the living room and a utility room.
Uh-oh.
And I called these guys to come
Man,
out.
how big was that tank?
It wasn't very big, actually. It was kind of small. It was like maybe 1,000 square foot of the living room floor.
No, I mean, how big was the tank? About 40 gallon, 50 gallon? What was it?
It was 55, 40 gallon water.
And by code, you're supposed to have a drain in that room.
It's an old house, and I do have a drain, but it's still the tank bottom burst and
when you say it burst, I mean the whole damn bottom broke right out.
The bottom leaked out.
How old was it?
It leaked
How
out.
old was it?
It was a 5-year-old Rheem water heater. Still
Wait a
under
minute.
warranty.
It was 5 years old?
Yep.
How does that happen?
I don't know. I've been doing my, due diligence. I get them replaced. I don't have old water heaters because I know they're on the main.
Yeah, but 5 years is not old.
I know, and it's still malfunctioned.
And do you have extremely hard water?
No, I don't.
There's a problem there. I mean, a real problem. It has a warranty. Doesn't it even have a 6-year warranty?
It had a 5-year warranty from Rheem. I bought it at Home Depot.
I find that shocking.
So
and you're sure it rotted right out?
It leaked. It leaked out. It wasn't rotten. It leaked though.
Wait.
It leaked out of the bottom.
If it leaked out of the
bottom,
bottom, how did it not go into the drain unless it was catastrophic? When you say it leaked out of the bottom, are we talking about a gradual leak?
It happened overnight, and that's why I had so much damage. I didn't even realize.
Okay, could it be where the spigot is for draining, or maybe a pressure valve? It just doesn't sound like a tank failure. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Your insurance is paying for this. You called a restoration company, Professional Restoration, and what happened?
They came out. They replaced. I had one company come out. They dried out the flooring. Then Professional Restoration came in and could not find a match for the flooring in the living room. The laminate flooring that was damaged. There was just a section of it that was damaged, but they could not. It was 16 years old. They couldn't find the right.
Well, okay, that's not their fault. Then what?
Not the one pooping on the streets, Kel.
So the insurance paid to have the whole room replaced with new flooring. Then there was a bathroom and a utility room.
All right, so I want to hear the problem.
Wet.
I haven't heard a problem yet with Professional Restoration. Let me know what the problem is.
They put in new Cortex flooring. It's all failed.
Wait. Why is it failing? Why is Cortex failing?
Buddy Mitchell says it's an improper installation.
Oh, so that's where Buddy Mitchell comes into this. He inspected it for you.
He inspected it because it failed. It started warping and buckling. I called the restoration company, and they would not tell me what was going on. And I've been arguing and trying to get it fixed. And so I decided to just have it fixed out of my pocket. But
No, you didn't do that. Did you do that?
I know, but
I'm going to do it.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Are you telling me you have a professional, Buddy Mitchell from Simply Floors, telling you that it was installed incorrectly and therefore failed? That
yes, it and the tile flooring that they installed in the utility room and bathroom are all improper installations, he says.
All right, so that company, Professional Restoration, is unwilling to come back and fix it?
They had an inspector come out. They called me yesterday and said that they will only fix what is damaged, 200 square feet, and it's kind of in the center of the floor.
But what you're saying is what? They can match it. That's not the problem. The problem is you're afraid the rest will fail eventually?
Yes. I had Buddy Mitchell come out and look at it. It's not the proper flooring, he says. It's going to fail.
Wait, what do you mean not the Wait. What do you're talking two different things now. Are you saying you want a whole different floor?
I'm saying I want it fixed right, and I don't trust these guys to fix it right.
Okay.
I've been arguing and crying about this for almost 6 months now.
Hold on. How do you know they won't fix it right?
Because look at, if you saw what they did already, and they won't call me back. They won't tell me what their inspector.
All right. How did you find Professional Restoration?
They are Denver Water's contractor for restoration. I went with them because I'm an employee and thought that they would be reputable.
Let's try to get them on and ask them what the hell's going on.
I agree.
Let's just call them. Maybe they'll come on. Maybe there's a completely different side.
Kachina, hold on. Hold on. We're gonna get the information about restoration, Professional Restoration. You know,
maybe we can also get Rock out there to put eyes on there. And then I want to mention one more thing, which she should have done, and she would have got a lot more money. You know what it is?
What?
Public adjuster.
That's true. Hold on. We got more.
Oh, I can't wait to go to my favorite Italian restaurant.
Where's that?
It's in Las Vegas.
Though no major complaints for our noon commuters. I-25 north and southbound showing intended speeds into and out of downtown. West of downtown, I-70 westbound, construction work between Pecos and Lowell Boulevard with about 5 minutes of delayed driving through the scene. Northeast of there to Commerce City, I-270 westbound, no surprises here. Looks like some slow traffic approaching Vasquez. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, another warm one today with highs in the upper 70s, cloudy skies, and tomorrow with those clouds comes a 70% chance of rain with a high of 51. The current temperature in Denver is 69 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Are you tired of listening to stories that are saturated with wokeness? If you are, then you should try Red Pilled America. We tell good old-fashioned stories that align with middle America values. Listen to Red Pilled America anywhere you get podcasts. That's Red Pilled America.
Made in the Shade. You know what that is? That's a window covering place. I love the name Made in the Shade. And they do it all. And here's what I love. They do it all in-house. So if you're looking for window coverings, you want Made in the Shade because they got it all. They'll come and they'll measure and estimate free. And then if you decide to go with them, they have a design helper to help you order the right stuff for the right windows, to coordinate everything. And then they have their in-house team install it, and they guarantee it all. For all budgets, all categories of window coverings from Hunter, Douglas, Norman, out to Graber, ComfortTex, Rainier, Insularol, and more. Hard goods, soft goods, shutter, shades, drapes, and more. 720-458-6566. 720-458-6566. Polestar, Denver. That's the McDonald people took that over, that franchise.
You know what? I want to rant about something, Tom.
We don't allow ranting on our show.
You know, it's such a little thing that pisses me off. When you go out to eat, and the server says, how are we doing, or did we enjoy the meal? Why is it we?
Okay. That sounds serious to me.
It's just a little thing that bugs me.
How
does the server become we? Then she should pay for part of the meal. If she said, how do we enjoy it? Well, what part of it did you enjoy?
I don't.
That's your pet peeve, huh, Doc?
There are little things that bug you. Aren't there little things that bug you?
Okay, so
Yeah.
the kids today, you go to the drive-thru and you say thank you, and they say no worries. I don't know why, and then I catch
I've
myself.
never heard that.
I catch myself saying it too. No worries. Then I do it.
I've said that.
I've not said that as like you're welcome.
The guy I sold my building to in Montbello, he would say that all the time. No worries. I'm like, hey, you're 30 days late on this payment. No worries.
I'll tell you, my pet peeve. When people say, at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah, at the end of the day. Or thinking outside the box.
Yeah, or think outside the box, yeah.
Well, that's why this
Overused.
thing bugs me. I mean, I was a waiter for many years, through college and medical school. I never said we. It's like, how did you enjoy
You know how you respond to it.
Excuse me?
How you respond to that is say me and what? Do you have a mouse in your pocket or what? Who's the we?
I would say, yeah, we enjoying the meal. Good. Then you should be part of the check.
What the heck's the name of that?
Did anybody see the new Mario movie? No?
I don't see that. You like that?
My son does, so we went and saw it opening day.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was,
They said they didn't use an Italian guy. So the kid that did, what is it, Lucci?
Luigi.
Luigi. The kid that did Luigi in the first movie boycotted it because they didn't use an Italian guy to do Luigi.
Oh, jeez.
I read that article. I thought it was kind of funny. He was serious, though. He was just mad he didn't get the party.
That's probably what it was.
Guarantee it.
That's probably what it was.
I probably would go see that, as corny as that sounds, Frank.
Yeah.
I kind of like those movies.
Yeah.
I really do, man.
Well, that was my son's childhood, so he couldn't wait to see it. It was like his big video game on screen. Yeah, it's like a Pixar. It's not Pixar though. It's the other one. But yeah, it's animated. Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, my son. That's all he talked about. Mario.
How old is he now?
39.
Tommy's going to be 20 pretty soon. He's 19.
Oh my God!
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Is he in school? Is he working?
No, he's out of
Only-
school. He's going to work with us. Thank God.
You guys don't even know yet. Dude, dropping Miles off in another state was unbelievable.
Hard. Oh, buddy.
Dude, he just had he just sent me a picture. So the guy over half the country for Walmart did a walk with him yesterday. Dude's over half the country, man. Yeah. And it just, he can't believe what a great job Miles is doing. Already. He's already, everything is judged once you're to the level his. It's all matrix. How fast is shit moving? I mean, literally matrix. It's just how quick are we delivering? How quick are people picking up? How much money are we bringing in? Everything is legitimately numbers at that point.
And it should be.
It has to be.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. The hours are flying by. So Sean got a contractor. Did we try to get the contractor on, Kachina?
So the project manager, I just left him a message, and I'm going to text him right now because it is a cell phone. So.
Okay, well, that's good. We're trying to get in touch with him, so hang in there, Sean. But, here's the deal, Sean, with a contractor. You need, most of the time, to give them the opportunity to fix things. You can't necessarily say, sorry, too late, I don't trust you, if they did it wrong, unless it was so egregious that they actually did additional damages to the house and you're afraid to have them back. This doesn't sound like that. It's not necessarily your option. Well, it is always your option. You have the freedom to pay for yourself. You have the freedom to reject their work. But if you went to court with these people, there's a very good possibility, if they were willing to redo it, that the judge would ask, why didn't you give them the opportunity to redo it, and then you can always sue them after that. So I'm asking you, did Buddy Mitchell, because I respect him, did he say, this is so bad, I would never trust them? Did he say that?
No.
You're just concluding that because it's so bad.
You know, Tom, I've been trying to call, trying to beg, asking these people to come back. You know, they have been back. And
I know. What made them finally agree? Wait, they said they're going to fix the failure. You want them to tear it all out and reinstall it, right?
I don't think that I'm not a professional, but I'm the homeowner, and I'm not happy with 200 feet in the middle of my floor.
Well, hold on.
Replaced.
How much, wait, just for grins, I want to ask you, would that 200 feet replace the buckling, failed floor?
From what I'm hearing, it won't, because I have the wrong product on the
now
floor.
hold on. You know what, Sean? You're a moving target. If you have the wrong product, some of that is on you. Who picked Cortex?
They did. They told me I had to go with what they gave me as a sample. Sorry about that.
Wait, they said you had to go with Cortex.
They brought
You
out
had no
samples.
choice. Hold on. This is getting harder and harder to believe. She said she had no choice of product. Hold on.
Hey, if you have joint pain.
Is it the installation, or if it's the wrong product, well, why is the wrong product in there? Doc, wouldn't you ask them who recommended that floor? And is it the right product for that installation?
Like they recommended to her because she said, look, we need to fix this. I said, great, we'll do it, and this is the kind of floor we need to put in. I don't think it's on her. She relied on the experts.
If they said that, yes.
Right.
But why is it the wrong floor? So I haven't even heard why.
Okay, that's a good question. But she relied on an expert.
Right. No, I understand that. But if they said, here's some floors, but why? See, I don't know why it's the wrong floor.
Well,
Hey, we ought to try to get Buddy Mitchell on because he can explain why it's the wrong floor.
Exactly.
Buddy Mitchell will come on.
Yeah, he'll come on. I've been kind of going back and forth with him a little bit too, by the way.
About?
I don't want to talk about it here. Well, what you think, all good.
No worries, right?
No worries, Tom. No worries.
So my cable bill when I was renting that apartment was about $230 a month. My streaming bill is $65 a month, and I get just as many stations.
On what? YouTube Live?
No, on Quantum Fiber. That's the internet provider.
How much is it?
65. Well, that's 'cause
And you get everything.
Yeah, 'cause I use my son's ID.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know anyone who has Comcast. Why would you get all those cable channels, Mark?
I have no idea.
Does anyone do that anymore?
I get just as many, I get Prime Video, I get Paramount, I get all these things for $65 a month. Of course, I'm piggyback on Eric's bill, but still, until they stop it.
Is there a site I can go to see if fiber's available where I am?
It is available where you are.
How do you know?
I think you have it.
Oh, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about my other house.
You mean at Steph's? No, I doubt it. It's too old.
Oh, the neighborhood.
The whole infrastructure is just too old. You like Northern Italian?
Yes, I love it.
I love I don't mean Italy, I mean food. I like Southern way better. I like the red sauce.
Me too. Me too.
Suzanne's probably.
But you asked if I liked it. I don't like it better.
She likes the fish. And
yeah, and the white sauce is right.
The white sauces.
Yesterday I just noticed I drove past what used to be the Citron Cafe. You know, they used to be right on the corner of Hampton and Yosemite.
No.
Oh, it used to be the Cafe Citron.
Anyway, what about it?
It just changed. It's an
What kind of Egyptian deities are you?
It's called Zane's Italian Cafe.
Oh, really? And I can't even imagine. It's Hamden and Yosemite?
Yeah. You know where there's a big First Bank?
You picking on Kelly?
First Bank on the southeast corner.
You picking on
Gas
Kelly?
Station on the southwest corner. There's an Arby's.
Yeah. She's hurt. You can't pick on her. Oh, then what's she gonna do?
First Bank, Northwest is gas station.
I only pick fights southeast.
So Hampton and Yosemite is way east of the interstate, way east.
That way you can be the taller man.
And is it east? Yosemite is right there where you can go. You can go up to my subdivision that way north. Yosemite is. Was there a Scandinavian design in there at one time?
There still is.
Okay, yeah, now I know where it is.
Scandinavian design is on the east side of the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the cafe?
It's on the southwest side.
Okay, southwest. All right.
There's been some good TikToks about that.
So I'm gonna try and give you guys
Which one is it? Come down the hole. Get it, it's down there. Then you think you have the right ones, and it turns out you don't. Because you're in the middle of changing that one, and you're like, I've got it.
But I have
Marie calendars.
in the vestibule, whatever you want to call it.
When I first moved to Denver,
That one always
I didn't get paid for
is
8
like,
weeks.
okay, and we have like
No?
special
I finally ran out of money. I went to Marie Callender's.
Yeah, that was there.
We gave them a check.
Off Broadway?
No, Yosemite. I remember
we gave
that.
them a check that I knew was going to bounce.
Oh, no.
I went to my boss the next day and said, if you don't have the check, if I don't get paid today, I'm leaving the program.
Yeah.
But you can't not pay me for 2 months.
What program was it?
It was a fellowship in high risk of symptoms.
Yeah, you're never gonna.
And I can't believe that.
It was with the city of
Your
Denver.
next house
It
is
was
going to be built
Denver
after
Health.
the year 2000.
I said, and so we knew the check was going to bounce. So I got paid that day, went to the bank, We went to Murray County and said, look, don't get the check. Here's the money for it. I'm sorry, but we had to eat. Our credit cards were maxed out.
Oh boy.
We had literally.
You need the cargo van.
Now, Doc, is it funny? We go through hard times. Don't you feel you come out of them better, though?
I got people on YouTube that want to hear you drop the F-bomb.
I'll say the word fair. There's
there it is.
I think you're right. That's funny. Being that destitute makes you appreciate everything that you accomplished after that.
Yeah.
There's no question.
Yeah. And we all go through stuff, huh, Mark? I mean, you've been through stuff. I know Tom has. I have.
Oh, my goodness.
And you get stronger. Thank God. You get either that or you crumble.
And I went through a Chapter 11 on the good years. It was the hardest time of my life. Yeah. It was unbelievable.
Now, add to that people doing articles about you.
Well, I can't even imagine
being a liar and
or
a cheater.
Someone constantly throwing darts.
Right, trying to come after you.
And you're doing the show.
Yeah.
Well, that's when I came back.
When you're a public figure, it must have been really tough.
See, you never had
this one fucker calls me up from the post and says, "My goal is going to be to find what you're hiding," and I said, "Fuck you." Well, what the fuck am I hiding? I'm not hiding anything. Where do you hide shit? That's in the movies.
Yeah, it's crazy though. We had to do with the Chapter 11. It's a reorganization.
Oh yeah.
And we were talking at the time a company that was doing, I don't know, $150,000 a month.
Yeah.
So the reports we had to do.
Every month.
The reports were ungodly. Suzanne would work probably 40 to 50 hours a month purely on reports because the accountant would have killed us. It would have cost us going through an accountant. Oh my God. I mean, you're talking $5-10 grand a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let me tell you, anybody you owed a nickel to, even prior to me owning that company, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Anything there was absolutely there. It was nuts, man.
Gina woke me up.
I'm just letting you guys know.
I still blame Obama.
Hey, Kelly.
Hi, how are you, Frank?
Good. How you doing?
I left messages with the guy's name is Abel, who was her project manager at Professional Restoration. And then I also called, left a message for Buddy, and texted him. He hasn't texted me back yet, so I'm working on it. Just wanted to give you an update.
What's the last thing? What's the last thing the group of friends, the Seinfeld cast, discussed on the last episode?
A friend?
Weren't they in jail?
Oh, the button? I'll talk to you.
Weren't they in jail?
Yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. We're here to help you solve problems, to answer questions, and take complaints. This hour brought to you by 888heating.com. If you want reliable service, repairs, and replacements, 888heating.com, the company many of us know and trust. 303-770-2776. And speaking about knowing and trusting, Frank Duran, the real estate man, is here. Along with that, he serves the entire metro area, and then Stephanie Thomas in Colorado Springs area. We're on the phone with Sean, who had a water heater failure, and it ruined the first, several rooms. She had to replace her flooring. But I have some very basic questions for her because we want to get to the bottom of this. And this, I'm not a fan of restoration companies in general. It's a terrible industry. That's why I always recommend, the American Restoration 24/7. But also, I'm not going to make trouble for a restoration company if they're trying to do the right thing. So, Sean, I have some basic questions. You say that Cortex flooring was installed. And what was there before Cortex flooring?
I had a Armstrong laminate, Armstrong laminate flooring over top of a hardwood, and it was there for 16 years.
Okay, but it was a laminate.
It was a laminate, yes, sir.
And isn't a Cortex the same thing?
I thought so, but I don't honestly.
So
Tom,
Sean, when that floor was destroyed, you're saying Professional Restoration, the company you hired to come in and fix it, they recommended that you replace your floor with Cortex.
Yes.
Okay. You didn't say to them, by the way, I want Cortex. They said, here is the floor we're going to use.
We had, we're given samples from them, and we picked from those samples, Tom.
Were all of the samples Cortex samples?
Yes, they were. Just
Okay. Now, another question, then we're going to bring up Buddy Mitchell as our expert. But, Sean, did Buddy see your floors?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Sean, you say that Professional Restoration screwed up the installation, according to Buddy. They're willing to fix it, but they're only willing to put down 200 square feet in the middle. Here's what I want to ask you. I'm not asking you if you think it's right. I'm not asking you if you like it. I'm asking, will that 200 square feet replace the broken or buckled floor?
I think so.
Okay, but you don't like it, right?
What I'm saying, Tom, is I also have tile floor that they installed in the bathroom and utility room. It's cracked. I'm being told that's still an improper installation.
Yeah. How much of that do they say they're going to fix?
They're not going to fix any of it.
Why?
Because I bought the tile at Home Depot, and they say that was not tile that that they gave me as a to choose from.
But hold on, did you have them install that tile?
Yes.
Okay. So I have a couple questions. Okay, hold on. Buddy Mitchell, my very first, and by the way, thanks for being here, simplyfloorsinc.com. Buddy, a very simple question. On the tile floor, just on the tile floor, they're saying, well, you bought it from Home Depot, blah, blah, blah. Would that tile floor, let me ask you this, would that tile floor not have cracked if it was installed differently?
If it was installed differently, absolutely. They didn't put any underlayment under it. They put it right on top of the plywood. And by putting it right on top of the plywood, they didn't put any like hardy backer. They didn't put any mesh or anything under it. So when you step on the floor, it flexes. Therefore, it flexes.
So when they're saying it's not, when they're saying you bought inferior tile, that's BS.
Yes.
Well, unless if she told him, I don't want any underlayment or something stupid like that.
I don't think she. Well, I don't know what she told him. They came in under a restoration because of a flood, and whoever installed the tile didn't use any hardy backer. Oh. They didn't use any proper floor prep in order to to stiffen the floor, because if you just go to basic tile installation 101, you have to make the floor solid enough that it doesn't flex, so the tile and or the thin set underneath it doesn't move. You have to build it up.
All right, next question. Next question. She keeps saying that the Cortex she bought, the Cortex, is not proper for that installation to begin with. So even if they did repair it, she says it's not the proper material. I'm sure you told her that, yes?
Kind of, yes.
Well, tell me why it would not be the proper installation.
Well, it's the cheapest, thinnest material you can put in. And because her plywood is weak, it moves too much. And the floor, I took videos of it. I could send to Mark or whoever.
Yeah.
You can see that the material is breaking and coming apart because it's moving too much.
Okay.
And so the reason she had success, I'm going to say this is a house with a very weak subfloor. As you walk across the subfloor, you can see the subfloor move. And it is a requirement of whoever's installing the floors to make sure that the floor is stiff enough for the material they bought.
Okay, so they did an improper installation. So there's
two reasons that floor there's two reasons possible that floor is breaking the way it is. Number one, the floor is moving too much and there's too much flex, which then is breaking the tongue and groove joint. The second reason is I believe they installed it too tight up against the walls, and when the material grew a little bit, the growing of the material.
Yeah, but either way, it's installation more than product.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, the product, the thing is this, if she thinks it's the wrong product, she doesn't get to just put anything she wants on the floor because she wants it. She has an insurance budget to deal with. Unless,
right, I agree with her.
Okay, so here's the deal.
Could all of that water, Buddy? I mean, she made it sound like it was a crazy amount of water. Could it have ruined the subfloor to where the insurance probably should have paid for a new subfloor?
Probably.
This goes back to Matt.
She
missed so much money.
Well, hold on. She can reopen it.
Of course she can.
She can reopen that and make them go back and pay for stuff they didn't pay for. And then she can get rid of professional restoration. What were you going to say, Buddy?
I can't see what was damaged until you tear the floor out. Okay? I mean...
I have a feeling her adjuster shortchanged her.
It's possible.
Sean, how much total?
Have you ever seen an adjuster not?
Sean, how much total did you get for your insurance claim?
$14,000, Tom.
For how many square feet?
1,000.
It's 440, a little under 40 square feet.
I'm wondering if that was undersold. Did the adjuster say you needed a new subfloor?
No, he didn't.
Well, honestly, they're never going to say that. They're never going to. You know what I mean? They just don't. Unless it went all the way through the floor.
Okay. Sean, we may have to approach...
We got someone we want you to call.
Sean,
his name is Matt, and
Sean,
he needs to come out.
Sean, you need to have a visit from a public adjuster. You might have to reopen your insurance claim. You may not have gotten enough money. And that would have meant a substandard job. And you could fight them. You might have to do that.
Well, that's a good question for Matt. If they only approve the flooring, forget about this bad company. They shouldn't have done it in the first place. But if the insurance company said no subflooring and someone actually installed that properly with the underlayment like Buddy talked about, do you think you could go back on the insurance company after it failed? Or would the insurance company say, no, the flooring company should have called us?
Yeah, it's hard.
The flooring company should have called.
Yeah, the flooring company should have called and said, this isn't going to work. Unless, for all we know, they didn't pay for all that extra stuff. And then, so what the restoration company was trying to do is fit in a budget. It could be. Now, Sean, did they say that was a hard budget to meet?
They didn't say one way or the other.
Okay, all right.
But I had quite a few estimates, and I was getting no calls back. No, people were coming out saying they would email me an estimate and weren't emailing, so it didn't seem like anybody wanted to do this job. So maybe it wasn't enough of a budget. I don't know.
It's a small amount, yeah.
They sound like clowns to me. So I don't know.
I'm just wanting. I have a disabled family member who can hardly walk. I'm just trying to get a floor.
Okay, what we're going to try to do, we're going to make a recommendation to you off the air for Matt over at. I want him to take a look to see if you were treated properly on this insurance claim, and I'm wondering if he'll get you enough money that it won't matter, and we'll be able to get this done correctly. But also, this company, Professional Restoration. We'll wait and call them.
Well, hold on. There is one issue with them, for sure, and I think Buddy would admit this. If they didn't do that underlayment on the rest of it that they are not willing to replace, that'll probably eventually fail over a little period of time.
No, I know that. That's why we got to get her more money. Hold on. Jay, you wanted to make a comment on tile floors. Go ahead. You're on with Buddy Mitchell.
Hi, Buddy. Hey, here's something that you got to think about. The first thing, if you put an underlayment under, say, the middle 200, it's going to raise it up a quarter of an inch, and you're going to be a quarter inch high for 200 square feet.
Just in that, just there.
Yeah, just that one spot.
Buddy, how do they deal with that when it comes up a
You
little?
have to do the whole thing.
No, you don't have to do the whole thing. You just, well, if you want it all the same level, but you can put a T-mold or a transition piece from one to the other. The problem is they took basic tile and laid it right on 3/4-inch plywood.
Stupid. Stupid.
And it's you know, if you don't want to use,
And especially if the plywood was wet already.
up.
And if the plywood was squishy, that makes it even worse. I think she can get, this company sucks. And once we have Matt look at it, I'm thinking that they didn't pay for subfloor and that Professional Restoration was a schlock company trying to fit in a budget that they knew was not realistic. That's what I think. That sucks, man. They really suck. That really is.
Yeah, that's a bunch of crap.
I love it when you have a great company, and when it comes to getting your garage floors done, Garage Kings is that company. I'm telling you, they know what they're doing. Guaranteed lowest price on polyaspartic flooring. It's what people used to call epoxy. It's better. It's more flexible. It's wonderful. And in a variety of beautiful colors, it finishes off the home perfectly. And here's another thing. Guaranteed lowest prices, no money down, guaranteed for life. 720-252-0370, 720-252-0370, GarageKings.com.
On Wednesdays, so we missed them yesterday, I forgot to tell you. On Wednesdays, you do 3 in-house for them. Garage Kings.
3 in-house? 3?
Just Wednesdays. You said you would do 3, but I want them all on Wednesdays.
What is he? Is he just doing one-on-one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I asked you.
Okay, no, I said 3 headlines. You're right. You did ask me. That's why. Okay.
But just on Wednesdays.
Okay, I got to put that down.
And then Thursday, Fridays will be all the wives.
Okay, I know I said that because if he paid that, but okay. I said headlines, that's what I said, but I'll do them. He'll still like it.
Ooh, they found that guy, it looks like. Or maybe. Yeah, isn't it amazing how many documents are leaked? It's really crazy. I heard this morning there's 3 million people with access to the classified documents. 3 million people.
Wow.
This guy was something it was like Snow. What was that guy's name? Snowden? He was like 20-something. 20-year-old.
Biden said it wasn't such a big idea because he had him next to his Corvette.
Yeah. It's really bad
Fun
news.
times. Your daughter's graduating too, huh?
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah, she is. That's right. And maybe in a month.
Yeah, next month.
She's not walking with the class. She switched to total online.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
Well, she after COVID, she just never got her footing back. She's still going to prom and doing stuff with them, but she does better at home.
what you can do.
I bet that goes for a lot of kids after COVID.
Yeah, it was a really rough transition.
It killed her, man. It hurt her bad. Vonnie couldn't wait to get back.
Our kids were just out, literally
Thank
just
God.
out. If Addie didn't graduate early, her senior year would have been that year.
Yeah, it was really rough for Avery and Aaron. Everything was so scattered.
She wants to try to do something else, and it's not terrible. In fact, they're dying for applicants for flight attendants.
So do you flight attendant? Oh, that's cool.
You know what? That could be cool, man. You travel the world.
I know.
And then the other thing is,
to go fun
think of the
places.
people she meets, like literally, depending on, of course, the route.
And the good news is that they're hurting for people.
The whole industry is. Pilots, everything.
Now Griffin, you know, he has commercial, instrument, all that on his, but he doesn't want to. They would take him in the fucking airline tomorrow with a college
Oh my
degree
gosh,
from Boston
Frank, so
College.
I finally
He could go into a training.
He just doesn't want to do it.
No, he doesn't. No.
What, about a year and a half
Oh my,
ago, almost
and
2
especially
years
a
ago,
college
I started
graduate.
transaction
You
planning.
know,
If you really, it's like being a truck driver, man. I can see why people,
Like I do it, which
Yeah.
is
if
why
you
I'm
like
so hard
being
to
away
go.
and gone and traveling all the time, it's the best job you could ever have. But if you don't like that stuff, man, that's tough
I
stuff.
think he flies 20
to
hours.
protect my clients through every
That's
single
all he would fly. I think that's all they fly.
Oh my God, I got a friend that's
Might
he's
be more.
captain for Frontier. I'm pretty sure he flies 30 plus.
Now, do you pay her by transaction? Okay, that's
What
good.
is what?
That's awesome.
And she's like, I'm watching her email my title right back and forth, pushing back on something, and I'm like, yeah, you're
That's what you have to ask.
after I already pushed back on her.
Yes, somebody that pays attention to detail, and they're
Maximum of
like that,
60 hours
and
of
that way when
flight
you're out on the road
per
you're
week.
not having to stop and handle things like that. That's perfect.
That's the limit.
Duplicate
800
yourself.
hours in 2 consecutive calendar quarters, 1,400 hours in a year, 1,400 hours a year.
60 hours a week.
That sounds like a lot.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Dan McKenzie for trusts, wills, basic estate planning. We know him. We use him. He's great at what he does. He is our expert for estate planning and elder law. Dan McKenzie, McKenzie Law, 833-CO-PLANS. 833-CO-PLANS. Or online, coplans.co. So, Frank Duran, the real estate man, we talked about sales. What do you think you get across to your people, or what do you think is the number one thing a salesman needs? I'm talking sales now because you are truly a great salesperson. You were, before you got into real estate, you were doing other things and you excelled. What is it?
Tom, I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Yeah,
and
what?
this is the conversation I have with
And
all
you
the
read
people.
a dozen books a year on this.
Yes, yeah.
What is the common thread?
Bottom line, have a servant's heart. Have a servant's heart. If
Not
that's,
be this braggadocious, big, aggressive, I'm going
Right.
to sell you, but
right. Have
a
a servant's
heart. What does that mean exactly?
The love of people. Because
So,
to
so
me,
you're helping them. You're
Yes.
not selling them.
That's exactly right. That's the key. And I have a great seasoned veteran team, Tom, and I'll tell you, the reason I'm telling you this is this. When I started out in the business, I started on a team, and the lady I started with had a revolving door of people quitting on her all the time. They just didn't have that team concept. And one thing I wanted to make sure when I started a team is we were all had the same mindset, that we want to have a servant's heart. You serve the client first. If you can't do that, you're not part of the team, you know.
You know, Plumline's saying is service at home, servants at heart. Plumline does that.
awesome.
Plumline Services. Stephanie, you were shaking your head yes. That's
I totally
the
agree.
whole attitude, isn't it?
Yeah, honestly, putting our clients first, advocating for the client
And
through the
really
process.
caring. You know what?
Really,
a lot of people
really
in sales
caring.
think, you know, if you talk to some salespeople, and I don't know how long they become successful, but I'm talking about, you know, the more aggressive salespeople. A lot of them would tell you, oh, man, you got to have a good line of BS. You know, I'm not talking about quality people here, but you've heard that before.
Sure.
But that doesn't last, does it?
No, because I think credibility speaks volumes, Tom. And like we were talking on the
Yeah.
break, you have to build credibility. It just doesn't come overnight. You have to build it and earn people's trust. That's why we tell our clients we work to earn your business every day. Yeah. Every day. We put skin in the game before we even list the home, Tom.
Got to have a good line of bull. Yeah, that's not true.
No.
And people don't like people like that.
No. Because
or if you're just out for the buck, people can tell that.
You can see that 20 miles away.
Oh my God, Mike, what did you want to talk about? An area rug? Mike? Hello? I thought he was on there, but I don't hear anyone. So can you check Kachina, and if he's there, keep him on, and we'll talk to him. We'd love to talk to him about his area rug. Is he there? No? Okay.
I want to give my rant to all the servers out there.
What is your rant about, Doc? Go ahead. I don't care. Go ahead. Rant. No F-bomb.
Okay. No. My rant is to all the servers out there, when you are talking to customers, don't say we. You can't say, did we enjoy the meal? Did we do this or did we do that? You are not included in the check, in the meal, and anything else. Just say, are you satisfied?
What?
Did you like the meal?
I've not had one say that to me. They say, have we? Give me an example.
I went out last night.
Are we enjoying the meal?
The bonefish, and they said, did we enjoy the meal, or do we need anything else? Are we having dessert? You are not included. Just say, are you having whatever? It is, you are not included in the meal or the experience.
Okay. Now, you want to talk about first world problems. Okay, here's the other one. Here's the other one. This bugs me a little, but it doesn't. It's people taking ownership. Have you ever heard when they say, I ran out of? I do have this new pastry. You know, they're a wait person. They're not an owner or a manager. Have you heard people talk like that? Like even in the sales business, when they're doing, I can do this for you, not we, but I. It's almost like they want this ownership. I don't mean like they're trying to mislead you, but it's. I think someone told them one time, take ownership. You know, when you go out to sell. I even had a car salesman who said, you know what? I'm running low on those models. You know, not we are running low. And waiters and waitresses. I have a wonderful porterhouse, you know, you're going to love. And really, I don't know, does that it doesn't really.
I think it should be we.
Yeah. But I think what they're trying to do is establish some authority and some.
Well, it's we being the restaurant.
No,
Doc.
I understand that too. I agree. But what but that's not what he meant. Doc meant with the we, when they go up to him and they say, "Are we enjoying the meal?"
And it's just him.
Well, no, even if it's him and his wife or girlfriend or brother or son.
Yeah, you're right. That's not right. Are you enjoying the meal?
Or are all of you?
Are used.
Are used. But no, seriously.
Guys.
But that bugs them. You know, I often wonder about these small things that bug people. Because there are small things. It's funny. You don't let them get to you. But every time now and then it's like, you know, I don't like being preached to about anything.
Suzanne,
now, that doesn't mean I don't mind people telling me stuff and sharing and helping, but I'm talking about being preached to. That goes for politics. It goes for ideologies. It goes for science. It goes for math. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. And lately, I'm just going to tell you this. I have not heard one weathercast ever from Al Roker where he doesn't mention either global warming or it is happening. Mankind can control it. I think it's a cycle. I don't know. I just don't think we have. I think it's haughty to believe that we can control our emissions to a point where we can actually control the weather and the climate, and that we've had that much influence because there have been cycles before industrialized nations ever existed. But I don't want to get into that right now. Let's say even if it is true, you don't have to preach to me every time you do the weather. He was talking about rain in Florida today, all the rain in Florida, more rain than ever. And the reason we're getting more rain than ever because of the warming planet. Now the air, the clouds hold more moisture for longer, and then they dump on us. And I don't want to be preached to. I don't know if anybody cares about that. Now, I believe that's a certain philosophy. There are people, that's all they do. They want to preach about hate and exclusivity and climate change and racism and blah, 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 when really, you know, it just gets to me. It just gets to me, this preaching. I am so tired of being told I'm a bad person because I'm a white male. I hate that. That I hate.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a lot of agendas, Tom, is what it really is, you know.
I think there's so many that are so busy picking each other apart. It's like we forget
Mark and I
that
had
we're
a
all
board op
part
once.
of the
I swear to
same-
God, I don't want to mention names or anything. We had a board op once that would make us feel guilty all the time.
I had
It
one.
made us feel like fucking racist, didn't he? Didn't he?
He called me a racist.
And we did nothing.
He
In
was
fact,
an
we gave
asshole.
Him, we loaned him money. We helped him with his car. We did everything.
He
we
was
could
the
to help him.
biggest asshole I ever met.
The biggest fucking asshole I ever met, no matter what color. I'm telling you, it was terrible.
I jump-started his car a few times.
We were bent over backwards to show this guy love. Truly.
He was mad at me because I was doing K-How at night, and he got kicked off the show. He sat down to
And
do
he
the
said
show.
you did it, right?
What's that?
Did he accuse you of getting him kicked off?
No, I wasn't even involved yet. Apparently, I wasn't here. He sat down, the show started, and he froze. He didn't say a damn word, so they wouldn't let him. That was that. And then Bertolucci gave me a call.
John Fuller is a personal injury attorney that runs things differently than other personal injury attorneys. Today, I swear to you, on the radio, on the TV, there was a commercial saying, "We have a dozen locations and 6 call centers, and we've recovered this much money, blah, blah, blah." And I'm thinking to myself, why do you want to brag about how big you are and how much money you recover? Because you set yourself up for failure if you don't recover that for everyone. And that's right, they don't. They have these call centers because they call through them and they get the ones that they can brag about. And do you want to talk to a call center? Do you care if attorneys have 6 or 7 or 12 offices? No. What you want is someone who will work with you. John Fuller pledges to not take one more case than he can work personally. And you will notice the difference when you call. It's not the size, as they say, the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. Anyway, John Fuller, he'll fight for you. 303-597-4500. Where you're not just a number, 597-4500, myaccidentlawyer.co. You heard about Become the Banker before, and that's just really the name of the company and the plan, but it really involves, more than just life insurance. There is another plan, which is an annuity for income for life, but each plan that Joe and Jordan Keano market are plans that are written guarantees from companies more than 100 years old for safe, conservative investments that will never lose a dime and will yield income for life. BecomeTheBanker.org, 303-779-6600.
I can't wait to get a look at this guy. I bet it's going to be a child, 20-year-old.
Oh, the guy that he was on a gamers chat.
Yeah, I know. And he's preaching to all the teenagers, and they're like, we didn't even believe him at first.
But what are they going to do with these documents? I mean, he leaked these documents to him, but what were the documents? Were they?
Well, the bad part is where all the plans. To me, the worst part is I found out, and everybody found out, we've got troops on the ground in freaking Ukraine. I mean, that's crazy.
I didn't know that.
I don't know how Russia takes to that. We got special forces there, including special forces from the UK and other countries. Not a lot, according to the documents, but that's a lot different than we don't have troops there. We're just giving them weapons.
Yeah. No, you can't fly more than 100 hours during a calendar month.
36 hours a week is what it says.
Well, that's better than 60.
No,
Yeah.
it's not 36 hours a week. This says 100 hours during a calendar month.
Well, I mean, there's all kinds of different shit then. This says 36 hours a week. What are we doing after the show,
That's
Steph?
what I was just texting Suzanne.
What do you guys feel like? You're heading to... Are you going up to the golf course stuff, or are you going up to Moab? Where are you going?
Golf course.
Where's
I'm going
Mikey?
to Work. I'm not sure where he's at right now.
He's here somewhere. Not in the building, but...
Yeah, no, he's, well, he just texted me. He's, working in a parking lot somewhere. But I don't know. I'm good to go hang out. We're not in a big hurry. We're just going to Glenwood tonight so that he can get to his client tomorrow before 5, because he's got to meet them to do some things before 5.
I'm reading 36 hours a week.
What is it?
No, I don't think so.
That sounds reasonable for a pilot.
Well,
no, that is not 36 fucking flight hours a week is a ton.
There's also a caveat to that, because Greg, Greg, he flies for Frontier now. He used to fly the Bolins around.
Oh, yeah.
So he's been flying for Frontier for years. He'll be in Vegas sometimes when we're there, but he can't even have a drink.
No, of course not.
24 hours.
12, right?
I think it's 24. I mean, I don't know. It's
12.
So really, and that's if he...
Wait, it might even be sooner for him. No, it's 12 for me. It might be 6 for him. No, excuse me, just the opposite. It's longer for him. Right,
but
that's right. Longer for him.
Here's the part that's wild, though. Sometimes he doesn't even know if he's going to be flying the next day. So therefore, he can't drink regardless. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know. Let's see.
Yeah, he's basically on call.
Bottle to throttle, they call it. Bottle to throttle rule is 8 hours of flight for a regular pilot. Now, the airlines impose more than that. But for a regular pilot, it's just 8 hours.
Oh, I see. So Frontier might have their own rules.
Well, all airlines do. And I think it's 12 hours. It could be. I mean, they could impose whatever they want.
Yeah, of course they can.
Yeah, United has 12 hours. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. All right, Dylan has a comment on fast food. Not sure why we're talking about fast food, but go ahead, Dylan.
Well, it's kind of on the same line of, what you were talking about.
Oh, about service. Okay, go ahead, Dylan.
Yeah. So you were wondering what drives people nuts. My thing is, like, if you go somewhere, Wendy's or, anywhere, you're in the drive-thru, and after everything you say or order, they go, is that it? Is that it? Is that it? I mean, it's happening.
Do you want fries with that?
You want to supersize that? Is that it? No, Dylan, I did notice that. I mean, I guess because they can't see you, they don't, well, it's not like you're face-to-face, so they're not sure if you're done, or will that be all? I guess they would have to know somehow, right? Keith, what about your comment on climate change or global warming or whatever they're calling it today?
Tom, I love to watch nature shows, and I'm not much of a PBS fan overall, but they have great nature shows like Nova. Amen to what you just said. If my dog has a rash, it's due to global warming.
I know.
You can't see you can't even be entertained anymore without this fear mongering and this oppressive.
No, you can't be. No, you can't be. I mean, the whole movie Don't Look Up was about climate change. They just talked about a meteor coming toward Earth to destroy it, and no one believed it. And what they meant was this meteor, it was symbolic for climate change, and you can't bury your head in the sand. And here's what I learned. Everything can be blamed. Listen to this. Everything can be blamed on 3 things. First, Donald Trump. Second, climate change. Third, Christians. If you just in that order, everything can be blamed on those 3 things, and you're going to be great.
Hey, real quick, that guy was talking about fast food. McDonald's opened up a fully automated restaurant that does everything, including the drive-thru. It cooks it. There's no people there. I mean, there might be one guy, but there's no people there.
Well,
that's
how do you
incredible.
Know? Well, how do you know you get paid? You pay up front, maybe. Maybe you have to pay and
it's
scan.
Probably at the kiosk.
No, you scan before you get the food. That's
or you pay on the app. I don't know. However they do it.
Yeah, however.
Fully automated, including the cooks.
How do they
and this is something that I find shocking, but this is true, and Dan Kaplis talked about it last night. And King Soopers had a meeting. The people were calling in that worked there. And they were told security is in that store for personal security in case somebody comes in there and tries to hurt you. They're going to protect you. They will protect you. They're not there for shoplifting. You are not to apprehend. You are not to talk to shoplifters. You are to do nothing for shoplifters. This one woman said that there's not a night that goes by that 2 or 3 people don't come in with a full shopping cart and just wheel it right out to their car.
Yeah, and the rest of us pay for that.
And they're not all poor people, by the way. They're not talking about people who are destitute.
If they literally are telling people we're not going to prosecute, chase
Absolutely
you,
not.
touch you, talk to you.
That goes for Walmart. That goes for supermarkets.
Well, Walmart will attempt to stop you. They just won't touch you.
Okay. Well, but here's the
sounds
deal.
like they won't even talk to you.
Why has shoplifting... No, I want to know this. I need to know the answer. Why has shoplifting not... Why is it decriminalized? Why is that? Now, hold on. Here's what's the funniest thing in the world. In California during the pandemic, there were people smash and grabbing in stores. Okay? And there was a picture, a guy caught, of a guy walking out with armfuls of merchandise, clearly walking out behind the security guard, and the security guard was apprehending someone for not having a mask. Well, not apprehending, but preventing them from coming into the store. That said it all. That said it all right there. I mean, does anyone see the folly in this? Why, though, is shoplifting allowed? Why is it allowed?
Well, because the locals allow it.
Why has it become that way? Is it... I don't necessarily think it has anything to do with wokeness, does it? It doesn't have anything.
Yes.
What? No, why? Why? Because they let everyone
They
steal.
don't want people in trouble for such a minor offense.
I can't help it. What do you
and if people are hungry, they should be able to eat, not get arrested for it.
I swear to God right now, and I mean this sincerely, if I personally right now went into a King Soopers, loaded up a cart and walked out, what do you think would happen?
Nothing.
Oh, come on.
I
guarantee you.
Well, you're a public figure.
If you put a mask
I guarantee you, they wouldn't stop me, but I guarantee you, they know who I am. They would call the police and I'd be arrested and put in jail.
I doubt it.
You don't think so?
Not in a lot of places.
Don't you think so?
Yeah, you're a public figure. They would love to do that.
It doesn't matter if it's not illegal and it's not a jail sentence. They're not going to throw him in jail just for being Tom.
It is illegal.
You'd be surprised. It's still illegal.
I think it's.
Here's the thing.
I think it's decriminalized in a lot of places under $500.
No, but technically, it's still a crime on the books, though. I mean, I just think they get to choose who they want to arrest, and I think. I don't know, man. But what message are we sending people that they can go in and steal anything at any time? Denver and Colorado is even talking about decriminalizing car thefts. Think about that one. That is a real discussion. That's a real discussion right now.
On cars over $2,000.
More coming up. You mean under two? So right under 2,000, right, Mark?
Yeah.
You know what? Well, who does that hurt? People
the people that need the car the most.
Most people believe that the people who shoplift need these for their quality of life. And what right do we have to deny them a decent quality of life?
I mean, California started it.
There was one really brilliant guy in San Francisco where they said if you shoplift anything under $900, it's not a crime. He put everything in his store, what the price was plus $900, and then he gave a cash discount.
Here's what they're saying. In most states now, under 2,000 is not stop. You're fine. Under $2,000.
Yeah, you're fine. I love it. It's crazy.
It's insane.
FixMyHome.com. That's the website for Fix It 24/7. You know what? They're the only company I know that truly gets the dirt and grime out, which is the #1 killer of furnaces and air conditioners. And right now, if you have your AC done, you won't believe the spectacular job they do. And they guarantee no breakdown for the summer, or the call is free. It's just $39 for new customers. They want to show you true preventive maintenance with no gimmicks. You can't lose on this deal. You just can't. 720-526-3939. It's an expensive thing to have an inefficient or broken AC. Get it done. 720-526-3939. And speaking of deals, Made in the Shade window coverings. They'll come to your house and measure and estimate for free. They even have a design helper to get you the right stuff, help you order what you need out of their catalogs, and then they install it with their in-house crew. They guarantee everything along with the manufacturer's guarantee. They guarantee the installation, so you got a complete one-stop shop for all your window coverings, made in the shade. All budgets, too. 720-458-6566. And the Art of Granite. When you speak of cabinets and countertops, think the Art of Granite. Small markups on cabinets direct from the manufacturer, and wholesale or cost on the granite or the stone or any solid surface for your countertop. They tear out and haul away free as well, and do the bathroom free when you do the kitchen. You're only charged for a fabrication and installation. That's theartofgranite.com. Theartofgranite.com. 303-386-5919. Get your price on the phone. 386-5919. Why do I give a shit that soon Merrick Garland is speaking? What is he going to speak about?
Probably the documents, I would guess.
Do you know what was in the documents?
Everything.
Yeah, they arrested a guy.
A lot about Ukraine.
But can't get the person who leaked the Dobbs decision.
What was it? No, it's the FBI arrest, whatever it was. Is this what they're talking about, the arrest?
They don't like us.
In Massachusetts or what?
Ooh, they're bringing in armored vehicles over here. What the hell? Well, it's a military member from what I saw on some of the other chyrons, so sure enough.
Yeah, but they can't find the guy who leaked to the Supreme Court. There was a Supreme Court decision.
Different branch of government.
Is it though? Is it?
So in California, they did this civil code, section 51, blah, 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 but it basically says that if they hurt you while you're shoplifting, you can sue the store. So that's why, that's kind of how they got around the whole thing.
I do, CMAs for potential clients, or, as requested, but not for BPOs.
So I'm doing a little bit of those, but they want me to go out and take pictures, and they pay you like $30-40 to do it, but the thing is you get on their list, so when they do like distress sales, they'll put you on their REO list to handle those, so it's kind of a good trade-off that way.
This guy's such a fucking ass.
I feel like Jerry, Mark, you know where he got all those royalty checks from the Super Terrific Happy Hour? And he had to write.
Super Terrific
Yeah,
Happy
so I was
Hour.
telling Stephanie I'm doing these BPOs where they have me go out and do photos for these banks, and they'll pay me like $30, so I get all these little royalty, I shouldn't say royalty, but checks for doing this, like $30, and they add up. They send them to you like in batches. But
Why didn't Jerry cash them?
His hand, remember, was it?
No, but why did he have them all? He had them all there forever. Oh, no, I'm thinking of the checks from his grandmother.
Yeah, his grandmother.
I'm thinking of the wrong checks. He didn't cash them because they were 30 cents.
Yeah, 30 cents or whatever, yeah.
You know what's cool? After I retired, for about 2 to 3 months, I kept getting checks in the mail.
Holy crap, Djokovic lost.
Takes 2 or 3 months to pay you. So I wasn't working, but every day I go
They didn't give him 3 in a row?
check or 2 in there. It was great.
That's nice.
The Super Terrific Happy Hour.
Oh my God.
I think
Pentagon leaks suspect. There he is. Look at him. Look at him with the red shorts.
Yeah, teenager, man.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Larry has a comment on climate change. Go ahead, Larry. What's your comment, sir?
Well, a year ago in January, there was the Tonga undersea volcano eruption.
Yeah.
And it was well publicized that that volcano supercharged the atmosphere with moisture and would increase rainfall worldwide for at least 5 years.
Oh, you know what? I don't recall that, but I'm going to look it up. Thank you.
There's plenty of information. Just Google the Tonga volcano.
You know what? I would like to know more about the topic, because I don't like just taking a stance on something that I don't understand. I know there are so many people concerned with climate change, and there are other people who say, here's the thing. The yard signs that say science is real? Well, that's not true. Science is subjective as well as objective. There is no true science. There's science according to what you want. When Y2K was coming around, there were plenty of scientists and plenty of people and tech people who told us, and technology is a science, computer sciences told us it was going to wreak havoc on the world, and it did not. And we have all kinds of science. I'd love to knock on the door of somebody who has that. We believe, Black Lives Matter. And I don't want to say I don't believe Black Lives Matter, but they say Black Lives Matter, that there is no illegal person, and that guns kill people, and science is real. Did you ever see those yard signs? People have this whole litany outside on their front lawn. I don't know why they feel compelled that they have to let everyone know. But in any case, truly, listen to this. If science was truly real, you could not call someone with 100% male DNA a female. Not scientifically. Now, am I saying it's wrong? No, I don't care. You can call yourself anything you want. A rhinoceros, I don't care. But here's the deal. It's not science. If you feel like you want to be something else, that's fine with me. It really is. So what does it mean science is real? Science is real unless it makes people feel bad. Then it's not real anymore. What were you going to say, Doc?
You're talking in circles, Tom. Science is real in that there are two genders. If society says there's more than two genders, then it's a cultural thing. But the science says there are two genders, there are two sexes, male and female. So how is that science not being real? Science is based upon facts.
Because the same people that have those signs that say science is real will debate you to death that someone 100% male DNA is every bit as female as another female, and should be in female sports, and should be everything female, because that's what they are. There's the dichotomy right there. There it is. So I am saying tongue in cheek, Doc, that science is real. Science can be real if you use science empirically, if you use it objectively, but people don't use science like that anymore. What they mean is science is real when we want you to believe something, and when we don't want you to believe something, we make up the science, like they did with the vaccination. They made up science. But when it comes to climate change, they want you to believe science. When it comes to gender selection, they don't want you to believe science. That's what I mean. The term science means different things to different people.
This volcano thing's crazy. This is right from NASA.gov. And the amount of water was 10% of that's already in the atmosphere. And they said it could influence...
What's the name of that volcano, Mark?
Here, I'll just send you this, because it's...
Susan Whitkin resigned today. Tomorrow's her last day. She was going to tell me about it in a minute.
Why?
I don't know. She goes, tomorrow's my last day. I'll tell you about it in a minute.
Mark, I'm going to log out and get over here.
This is the one from NASA. Yeah.
You're leaving out early.
Well, I have the doctor's appointment.
Oh, which one?
What are you getting done?
One. I kept thinking it was noon.
I did that the other day. I walked out of Tom's studio, at 1 o'clock, 'cause I thought it was 2 o'clock. And they said, "Where are you going?"
I have one in-house chef to do.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I tried to get it done.
I'm sorry, I tried, but I couldn't do it. I failed.
It's Harris Family Law 30. Just real quick, talk about their seminar. That's it. So I'm not leaving right this minute, but you can start the hour and finish it. I have to go to the doc for just an evaluation.
He's in the last part of transitioning.
That's right.
They got to give him his last shot. I don't care.
I'm bringing my scalpel next time I go to Tom's house.
That sounds good.
What time?
So what sounds good?
Is Mikey coming here?
Yeah, he'll come back. He'll pick me up.
Guess we can decide then when
Oh,
Mikey
thank you.
gets
Yeah,
here.
Avery.
Oh, cute.
Isn't that
She's a
crazy?
little spitting image of her mother.
It's so
Man.
crazy.
I can see actually both of them.
Yeah.
I really can.
She's got definitely Michael's complexion and eyes, and she's totally a natural blonde, but she has me color it darker
105
to look
has
like
glasses left. Can you believe it? All that stress yesterday.
That is wild, actually.
have
They
my
ordered
hair.
too many,
No,
that's
I'm
all
half.
that means.
Here. Well, I don't know if you're half, but I'm half.
I guess we can decide when Mikey gets here and
Yeah.
the show's over. Okay,
Yeah, I'm good.
Figure it out.
There's a good burger tap house place right here that I went to with a client recently.
I know. Is it the one right here? Tap something.
Yeah, that was good. Did you guys not
I
like
don't
it?
think you'll talk Mark into that place.
Which one is
We
it?
had a good time.
Oh, that place is a ripoff.
Oh yeah, maybe
Oh
we
my
had a
God!
good lunch there with
they,
a client, but
they charge 20% at the bottom. They don't tell you about for the back staff, and then they have another fee for COVID on top of that.
oh, I didn't see any of that on my receipt.
Because you're not looking.
Oh, I do look.
I don't know if I want you looking.
Daddy's or something.
Bad Daddy's is good. They have good salad.
I emailed him.
No, my grandfather is from Italy, and then my my granny was English.
Send it so I can send it down.
Oh, come on. Who turns off numlock? There's my pet peeve.
Wednesday. Hold on, Wednesday. Next Wednesday.
Hey, Tom, what I wanted to say very simply was, science is science. It's how people use it that gets distorted.
That's right.
Yeah, but science doesn't mean something's right.
Well, it is until it's proven. The good thing about science is that they're always willing to change if you can.
Fair enough. That's right. They're willing. Well, hopefully they're willing to change.
They are. As facts become proven, then science will change to go with the new hypothesis.
Mark, who was your favorite band in the 80s? Wasn't it Wham?
Metallica.
Oh, I think you like Wham.
Wham!
I knew he was going to say Metallica.
Oh.
I actually liked Wham too.
Did you really like
Yeah.
Wham?
Wham was the Wake Me Up Before You Go.
Camellia.
Wake Me Up Before You Go, right? I loved that song.
George
I
Michael's
sure
a good
did.
singer.
You know what? He really is.
He's great.
He was a great talent.
I also liked a band called the Violent Femmes. They were pretty good. They were a lot smaller, but you know, they're somewhat known. Ronnie James Dio, love Dio.
They advertise a job. And when you apply, they get that information.
So basically, my husband's company had 7 of them.
Listen to them
who
talk about
basically were contacted by a person who does not work for my husband's company. And
how do they know who to contact?
They look on it on LinkedIn, so they can see, because Unifor, who my husband works for, they advertise on LinkedIn and Indeed.
Right, so they
and
go there and
Ladders.
they know the jobs are available, and then they call people looking for work and say, we're from so-and-so.
Yep.
Got it. And if you go online, you can read about us, but
Yep.
here's what we need. Okay.
Yep. So
That's
so
a good
my
thing to talk about.
husband's- So my
No, I want to
husband's
talk about
company-
that.
My husband's company basically had to format everything they do to let people know, hey, we are not asking for social security numbers or bank information or anything upfront. You know, if you get hired from us, that doesn't happen until along, down the line. But you know, if it happened to them, it's probably happening to a lot of companies, and it's all off of LinkedIn, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, all of those places that people people are looking for
Yeah,
jobs
he's a
right now.
kid, man.
Crazy. But true.
How do you get this shit?
He has clearance. Look how young he looks. It's crazy. He looks like a baby.
He was only 21.
He looks like he's in military school.
Yeah.
Okay, you're ready.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
I'm on it.
Woo!
Why would they give clearance to that kind of stuff to someone 21 years old? I just don't understand it.
Did he have clearance or did
Yes,
he?
yes. I heard this morning there's 3 million people with clearance to those documents.
What did they ever do about that balloon, that so-called weather balloon from China?
Well, what China did with it is gather intelligence about our country for the entire time it was there.
Yeah.
Very important stuff. It's crazy.
But I heard someone say that the stuff they gathered, they already were able to get by their satellites. That there was no additional information that was gleaned by the balloons. That they
I'm
didn't
sure
already
that's
have.
what Biden said at one point.
And then he
Is Ocean Prime open for lunch?
I don't know. I've never been there for lunch.
Ocean Prime.
That's one of Suzanne's favorite restaurants.
Oh my God, I love it. I'm just gonna.
What was it before Ocean's? Cool
River.
It was pretty good as Cool River. Oh man, I like Cool River. I did like Cool River.
Ocean Prime is open.
You know what?
I don't like Dell's anymore.
Wait, Cool River.
What?
Cool River was right there, I think.
You don't like Dells anymore? I swear one of my favorite memories was us cruising the parking lot with the Numa Numa song blaring. You remember? That time you guys took me there for my birthday, and I think I was pregnant with Avery.
With the Numa Numa song.
Numa was blaring. We were in your Chrysler. Oh my gosh! I swear we cruised that parking lot, and you had it up so loud. It was hilarious. Hilarious.
I love the Numa Numa.
I know.
That was one of the best songs
yes, it
ever.
was. But my goodness, that was so funny. The
It was like an
Numa
Asian
Numa.
guy.
Yeah,
And he's under a plane.
It was hilarious, but we did.
Crazy Asian songs. What about the one?
The Gangnam Style one?
Yeah, same.
Gangnam
yeah.
Style.
Yeah.
This thing?
Yeah. What was
Yeah,
it called?
they
What
just
was
did
That was a great song too.
Gangnam Style. I think it was called Gangnam Style.
What was the song?
I think it was Gangnam Style.
No, I mean, how did it go?
Oh gosh,
All
I
right,
don't know.
hold
I
on,
have
guys.
to YouTube it.
Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions.
And take complaints. This hour brought to you by Harris Family Law. Listen, go to their seminars online and get all the information you need on divorces and family law. And that's harrisfamilylaw.com/webinars. What's going on?
What's going on in your life there, Martino?
Okay.
You were talking about the Numa Numa song and Gangnam Style.
Or songs that they're called. Did you know there's actually a term called earworm?
Earworm?
Yeah.
No.
Now, it's not a real earworm, but it's a song that you can't get out of your head. And they actually did research on it.
That was Numa Numa.
There are certain tunes and certain things, they don't know why, but with certain people, it actually etches a neural pathway almost. Not like permanently, but it's one that is so annoying people can't stand it. And one, I even hesitate to mention this because I'm going to be all day long, I'm going to be hearing it. And one of them was, oh God, it was so terrible. It's a Small World at Disney World.
Oh, my God.
If you've ever gone to that.
They don't stop playing it the entire ride.
And when you get out of there for a week straight, it's like, oh,
Now
God.
this one, is this Baby Shark? Listen to this, Tom. An Oklahoma County inmate found dead in his cell over the weekend was a plaintiff in a lawsuit against the county alleging that jail workers tortured inmates with this song. Do you remember David Koresh, what they were playing?
Oh, Lord.
Does anybody remember that?
No, but they were playing for also, who was
Heavy
that?
metal.
Idi Amin. Didn't they do Idi Amin? They flushed him out with songs.
With some like Led Zeppelin or something. It's pretty amazing that this inmate, though, inmates are literally suing for torture over the Baby Shark song. How about Bob the Builder? Our kids are a little close in the same age. Do you remember having to live through that?
I don't remember that. But then what's Gangnam Style? How did that song go? You have that song?
Do you remember that song, Dragon? You might be too young, bro.
I don't know. My kids were right there. They're Bob the Builder. Can we fix it? Yes, we can.
Oh, man, can we?
And
you know it.
Blue's Clues was a big one.
How about JJ the Jet Plane?
The Explorer.
Yeah, with Boots. Trust me, I remember that stupid show.
I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map.
He was the map. You know, by the way, 303-713-8255. You've been ripped off or taken advantage of. We want to hear from you. In studio, we also have Frank Duran, the real estate man. Bring up that Gangnam Style, though. I do want to hear that.
Yeah, I do. I forget
and
what it was.
Stephanie Thomas with Coldwell Banker. I remember one of my favorites back in the day, Who Let the Dogs Out. It would drive Suzanne crazy. But Stephanie started this conversation. Was Mike with us?
It was me, you, Michael, and Suzanne. And I feel like I was.
Is this when I had the
pregnant.
computer stores?
Yeah, either Avery or Aaron, one of them. We were at Del Frisco's for my birthday, and we cruised the parking lot in Del's in your car, blaring
what
the
song?
Numa Numa song.
The Numa Numa
as loud
song.
as we possibly could. That was
I don't
hilarious.
know it by name. I might know it if I hear it. Numa Numa.
Yeah, they've got to bring that one up. That one's pretty
Gangnam
fun.
Style, Numa Numa, Who Let the Dogs Out.
Okay,
Numa Numa.
you got.
Yeah.
These are all timeless.
Okay, let's hear that. You got it? No? Oh, I thought it.
We're trying. Well, we got a show we got to run in here while you guys are attempting to do stuff.
303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is right now the outlook for real estate? If they keep raising rates, does it get slower each time they do it? Oh, here, let me hear that.
Yeah.
Oh, that.
That's the whole song, basically.
And wasn't he kind of like riding an invisible horse?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whipping something.
Okay.
Yeah, my kids just reminded me this was their elementary school dance song. They played this at like every elementary school dance.
Oh, my God. You know, I did have some real estate questions. What do you ask? In other words, if someone's listening to this podcast out of state and you guys can't help them, what should you ask a realtor? For example, how many homes do you sell a month? How long have you been doing it? Do you have another job that you do outside of this? I mean, really, what are good questions to ask a realtor?
You know, one thing I would say, honestly, is they can still give Frank or I a call. I mean, I can speak for myself, and I'm sure Frank does this too, but I'm happy to help people find agents in their area.
Well, my agent in Louisiana, Frank, found me.
Yeah, I will call and I will ask those questions. I'll ask them about their production. I'll ask how long they've been in the business.
Well, what are the important ones?
Yeah, production, how long you've been in the business.
You know, okay. So what about these people, though?
Your
Seriously?
communication style.
How about how many homes have you sold?
Yeah,
how can they get away with saying they've sold more for more money?
Why do you even get me going on that?
No, they can't say that, and they do it. Or there's one that says they have 14,000 buyers. Frank, what about that claim? 14,000 buyers.
Well, Tom, if you Google has the buyers, you're going to see a number of agents that claim the same thing. And if you look at the similarities, they all take a picture with the same woman. I think it's all like a cookie cutter system. Because realistically, I don't even think there's 14,000 buyers buying right now in the whole state, closing per month. So there's something more to it. But if you actually Google has the buyers. Well, I think
what they're saying is, like this one says, they have over 13,600 buyers in their database. Mm-hmm. They may already have the buyer for you. Well, what the hell does that mean?
I see.
They know 13,600 people. That's all that really says.
And by the way, we're not saying there's anything wrong with these people. We're asking how they make the claims. I don't know how they make the claims. I truly don't.
There's one that runs, and I'm not going to say who it is, but it runs on this station and others, saying they sell more homes than anybody else in Denver.
Well, guys, you know where I think a lot of it stems from?
It's just not true.
Well, Frank, you looked up. You don't have to say who it was. You looked up the stats from MLS, and you sold more.
Right.
So how does he say that?
That I don't know, Mark, but I'll say this. I think I know where this stems from. There's an agent in Canada, and I've studied him. He was a successful agent for many years, and now he's a sales trainer. And so he teaches these programs that a lot of these agents use. So they'll say stuff like, if we can't sell your home, we'll buy it for cash or we'll pay you a check.
Yeah, but it's all a gimmick.
Yeah.
Okay, well, pull the sheet back or the curtains back on that one, because that gets played around here as well on this station and others.
Well, I know the
so
trick behind
we guarantee to sell it.
No.
If we don't sell it in 30 days, we're going to buy it from you.
Right.
Well, what's the catch?
Well, the interesting thing, Mark, I had a conversation with an agent out of Arizona. He does these same kind of things, and we talked for a long time. Good guy. But what he told me, I asked him, how do you even guarantee something like that? He says, well, if a home, let's say, is worth $600,000, his guaranteed price might be $520,000. So it's going to benefit him more than the seller. So yeah, he is guaranteeing it, but not at full price.
He's guaranteeing it at a very low ball price.
Yeah, or if they say they'll pay the difference.
Well,
if they can't.
then I could guarantee that all the time.
Sure.
If I can't sell it for $600,000, I'll buy it for $5.
Yeah,
But the homeowner has to agree to the price.
The homeowner has to agree to the price. So it sounds good to get the phone to ring, and those kind of things work for that. But in terms of substance, there's always some kind of special conditions that apply.
Okay, I hope you don't mind me talking about this, but when I hired you in Castle Rock, you came out and I told you, I'm going to use round numbers for now. I told you, Frank, I want $500,000 for this house. How many people do you meet with that start off with how much they want for the house? In all honesty.
Boy, just about all of them, Mark.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So they say, okay, I want this much because, they did their Zestimate or they did their research, which is very little research. And I did the same thing. Yeah. And you told me, Mark, we're going to list it. And once again, I'm using just numbers I'm pulling, but very close numbers. We're going to list it for $450,000. I said, Frank, what are you, insane? I can get $500,000 for this. And guess what? He did list it for $450,000. You did.
Yeah.
And once again, I'm using a little fictitious numbers, but about the same range.
Well, Mark, I don't know if Charlie's listening. He's a client of mine, but he can attest to this. We talked about leveraging his price, and we ended up selling it way higher than the market, and then the appraisal came back, and they had a hard time appraising it. So he knows full well we not only got him full price, we got him above that because the buyer was willing to put skin in the game. So even in this market, we're able to max out that top dollar if you do it the right way.
I'm going to share a little to people how you did it with my house because I didn't believe it could be done. First of all, you listed it on a Friday. Is that some kind of secret?
Actually, what it is, we went on live Thursday night, but showings didn't start till Friday.
Okay.
So we had some build-up, and a lot of times we'll say coming soon.
Do you remember how many people did what's it called, a Matterhorn?
Yeah.
Matterport?
So we used some AI with that. I mean, it does cost money to market that way, but we hit over 100,000 people, Mark. We had 100,000 hits.
I had 95,000 people walk through my house from their own living room.
That's right.
From California to New York.
Yes, and
in a term of 3 days.
And I remember my virtual tour guy, he told me, Frank, I can't believe how many hits you're getting because they keep track of it too. He said, that's got to be a record. But what he didn't realize is we were outbound marketing to draw. And that's what we were trying to do is play a big numbers game.
And what does that mean? So you're advertising that virtual walkthrough like on MLS, on Zillow, on Realtor.com.
Oh, yeah.
All these different places.
Not only that, we were hitting very aggressively social media because we know everybody's on social media, Facebook, Twitter. We were advertising very heavily there, too, so we were drawing.
Think about what I'm saying, people listening. Over 100,000 people checked out my house in a 3-day period. Now, what does that mean? That doesn't mean much, but the reality came Monday when Frank calls me and says, hey, I've got, I think it was 11, maybe 15, somewhere around there. I got 11 bona fide offers I want you to look at.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And here's the part that I didn't realize and where I went back to. He listed it for $450,000, which is about $50,000 less than what the other homes just like it were selling in the neighborhood. And Stephanie, you do this as well. Yeah. What does that do?
It creates a frenzy.
It creates a bidding frenzy. And if I didn't see it and actually live through it, I couldn't believe it. You ended up getting me about 15 or 20,000 more than I ever thought, including more than other homes in the neighborhood, same model. I mean, we had a nice cul-de-sac, but it didn't matter. Same stuff. And then here's the amazing part. I went to Frank after he got me that much, and I said, Frank, tell me if you remember this. I don't want to move our pool table or the projection room down there. I said, tell those people that are buying it that I want them to also buy the pool table and buy this other stuff. I think I wanted 10 or 15 grand for it, for another 10 or 15 grand, and you went and sold that stuff, and I got more than I paid for it.
Yeah, it worked out good. I remember some of those late night calls, Mark, we used to have too. But that's right, and I'll tell you something too. The thing about it is, I had a home I sold. This was up in Aurora, and the neighborhood expert, the guy that says he was the neighborhood expert, he said that I underpriced the home. But then when we closed it, we had the highest sale out there for that area in the last so many years.
Crazy.
So then he calls me again. He says, "How'd you do that?" He couldn't believe that where we priced it, where we ended up in the end.
How come every realtor doesn't do that, or it's just a finesse? And I feel bad because I'm probably educating realtors out there right now. But I mean, really, it seems so kind of basic. But the other part is, you spend, and Stephanie, I know you continue your education, but Frank actually takes courses of negotiating yearly, don't you?
Yeah, not just that, but real estate law too, Mark, because I think you have to stay sharp. I don't think you can get in this business and just get up and do it every day. I think you have to get up and really be prepared. But to me, that's where it really starts, is any profession. You got to get up and prepare every day.
You have to. All right, hold on. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back, go to the phones. I promise, any questions for these two experts, and you got to call us too, 303-713-8255. Myra and whoever's on two, hold tight. Another Geek Squad problem, I swear to God, every day.
But you know what it is too, guys, is a lot of real estate people, if they don't do a lot of business, they will say an attractive price to get the listing and then overprice it.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's a lot of it too. That's why you see these homes sit on the market or end up expiring, or they end up dropping the price.
The very, very first listing I did not win at a listing appointment. I went in and I gave an honest opinion, and it was
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Retirement Planning Center for the Rockies. These guys are sponsors of the show, and I'll tell you one of the reasons they are sponsors is Tom's using them right now. These guys never charge anything up front. They're going to meet with you, and they're going to talk to you about retirement, not just about what stocks you have or what different investments you have. Of course, they're going to talk to you about that stuff, but they're going to do a deep dive into your retirement. They're going to talk about health care. They're going to talk about tax ramifications. They're going to talk about the different investment instruments, and, of course, they're going to talk about what kind of income you want to retire. They're going to help you plan out your retirement. They're just not stockbrokers, if you will. These guys are really good, and they care about you as an individual in your family, and they're going to help you create that retirement you've only dreamed of. And it doesn't matter how old you are. Eventually, you're going to retire. Check them out, 970-663-3211, 970-663-3211, or go to rpcenter.com. Now, I want to tell you about another investment opportunity outside of stocks and property. It's backed by a life insurance policy, and we call it Become the Banker. And the reason we call it that is because you do become your own banker. You can actually put money away in a qualified plan, so you're not paying taxes on that money, and you can grow those funds by lending yourself money and other people money and charging yourself interest. Instead of buying a car through a credit union, why not buy one with your own money you have in the bank, charge yourself interest while building that nest egg for retirement? We're going to be talking a lot more about this over the next month, because Tom and myself are going to go out to one of these seminars with Joe and Jordan, and we're going to ask them all the questions up and down. We're going to talk about annuities, and we're going to talk about retirement. BecomeTheBanker.info. You can check them out right now. BecomeTheBanker.info. Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah, we're off now.
So I feel like this is one, actually, you might have sent me 2016, 2017. They were listed with another agent. Actually, no. They called me just off of the show.
Okay.
They were listed with another agent who had them at $1,055,000.
Yeah. Put up my nice spots.
And they had sat for a really long time.
Yeah.
And they called me and asked me to come walk through, give them an opinion, and I gave them numbers at 800.
Yeah.
And they were just devastated.
Oh, yeah.
I said, look, this is really what I'm seeing. I showed them comps. We looked through every comp.
Oh, sure.
Together. I mean, we really looked at it. And they you know, they were devastated. They were like, do you think we could get 9? And I said, I just feel like that's too high for what it was right then.
Right.
So they ended up listing with another agent who listed it at 9.
Yeah.
Reduced it to $850 and closed at $8.
Yeah, I know. Because people sometimes hear what they want to hear, and sometimes people.
This is the first one I ever lost.
And I always tell them, Stephanie. I tell them, look,
I give them honest.
You are the boss of your own price.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm not going to tell you where to list. I'm going to show you what I believe works. But in the end, you know, you're the boss of your own price. And I show them the different scenarios. But here's what I do. I show them real life examples of homes we sold. I show them, hey, look, this is what we really sold it for. This is how we started. And I said, you have to think, especially in the market we came out of last year. It's like a race. It's not how you start the race. It's how you finish.
Sure.
Because some people think, oh, I can't imagine a buyer would pay that, and they think like that. And the reality is, the buyer will pay that if you price it.
Yeah.
You know.
Honestly, I think that's what has kind of softened some of the rate blow now too, because where we are, we're not seeing, or at least I'm not seeing that crazy over like we were.
Right. It's not like that exactly.
No. Yeah. So it's, you know, it may have been here with a better interest rate, but I feel like we're still kind of leveling a little bit. Oh, that'd be fabulous. I think, you know, taking that element out has kind of softened it a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Made it a little bit easier to.
You got to just change with the times, really.
Yeah, babe.
You really do.
Who's going to sit here for the rest of the show?
Cool.
It's like
come hang out with us.
Susan Wicken is 64.
Is she the skinny gal?
You're the one, your Secret Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just was shocked that
she's retiring, huh?
Yep, tomorrow's her last day.
Yeah, but
this building's almost turned over completely, with the exception of Shannon.
But you know, it's like football. I think of a quarterback. If the receivers, if he's throwing a bomb, he naturally has to throw a little bit ahead of him to catch him in the end zone. Same thing with pricing. We just have to find where that sweet spot is, Doc, and I think that's the key. But you want to leverage where you have more choices than the buyers, because when you price it like this, you miss that market, you're in trouble. You know, you will sit there. And there's no gimmick or scam that's going to get the. Believe me, they'll benefit themselves, but they're not going to benefit you.
All right, let's say you have a unit on the market. I'm just for $100,000.
Yeah.
It's really worth $125,000. Someone comes and says, okay, do you have to take their offer?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because in real estate, that's called a solicitation of offers legally. A solicitation of offers, meaning you don't have to accept it. The only thing they'd have a problem with is that there was something like discrimination or something.
Right.
That's the only time there'd be a problem. But other than that, no, you don't have to accept it.
You're not legally bound to take any offer.
No, there's places, believe it or not, guys. Like, there's a place out of California where they'll list a home for $1, and they're not going to take that, obviously, but they'll bid it up. They get these big bidding
I've
prices.
seen some of that too.
I don't know how well that works or not, but yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, we have some auction ones where they'll start at like $100,000.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And it's like a $600,000 or $700,000 property.
Oh yeah.
And it gets people excited.
No, I don't do them like that.
Any luck?
Yeah, no, I don't ever.
I just look for the sweet doc. It's like
It
you're.
really depends.
Is there ever a time when auctions are a good idea for the seller?
It's better for the seller than the buyer.
Yeah, it's always better for the seller, I think. Yeah.
No,
the buyer gets hit with major fees on an auction.
No, is there a time when you would recommend an auction?
I don't market that way.
Maybe the property is not selling after 4 or 5 months, or.
Oh man, he forgot. Oh, we keep this here, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just curious.
Auction? You mean in this sense?
All right, guys, we're going back.
I'll come back to you on that.
Yes. Oh my God.
Ah, the good old days. All right, 303-713-8255. Numa. Who would have known a Nona? Dragon, was it hard to find? No? Hello? Salute.
Hi, Duke.
Not exactly sure what he said there. Something about Duke. What language is this? Fettuccine? Is this an Italian song?
I don't think so.
Do you remember how often I would listen to this, Suzanne?
Of course I do.
I would listen to this song back to back all the time. I think I'm going to go back to these days.
I think the kids need counseling now.
Yeah. All right, 303-713-8255. Myra, what is going on with you? I'm looking at this email. What happened?
Well, a few days ago, my husband and I got this email from, looks like, for all it's worth, from Geek Squad.
Yep.
And it just, says that it's been, our account's been canceled and everything. So I go into the other room and I'm calling Geek Squad to verify, and I finally get them on the line. They verify that everything is okay, nothing's happened. I call back into my husband, who has called the number at the bottom of the email.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
He's talking to them. Yeah, and so my husband called them, and he was on the phone with him. And when I came in to tell him it was okay, he told the person, "I've got to go. Everything's taken care of."
You know what?
And he hung up the phone.
You saved your asses by making a call directly to Geek Squad. Your husband called the number on the bottom of this. He might have got snookered out of a couple $100.
Well, he could have, except we're pretty savvy with this kind of crap. We would never give out information.
Now let me ask you this: so you did have a Geek Squad membership, right?
Yes.
And what is that for, and how much is that?
I don't have the figures right in front of me, but I do think the number may be correct, $299.
I think that sounds right.
And yeah, everything seemed right on the thing.
Yep.
And they tune up my computer every 3 or 4 months if I want them to. If I have a problem, I just have a little icon on my thing, and I go to the thing, and they fix my.
We were looking at some of the biggest scams going on across the country right now, and the one that came into your email is one of them from Geek Squad. Of course, it's not from Geek Squad, but man, does it look legit. What's interesting to me is somehow they got a list of people that have memberships. So I wonder if it's an inside job or who hacked in and got their list.
Yes, I thought it might have been a ticked off employee or something. But when my husband hung up, two minutes later, they called him back.
The bad guys.
When he answered the phone, the bad guys called him back, and they said, "You're a stupid moron," and hung up.
Nice. Well, I hope you answered him back.
Moron,
Yeah. Well,
and my husband did.
We appreciate it, and I'm glad.
I wanted everybody to know because it looks legit.
Not only does it look legit, but once again, that's why I asked you if you had a membership, Myra. It comes off as super legit if you actually have that service. If you had an AT&T phone and you get an email from AT&T that your payment didn't go through and your phone's about to be cut off, call this number, you might call. What I want to know is how did they get all these people's name and numbers from Geek Squad? I don't recall Best Buy or anybody talking about a data breach. You're generally supposed to tell people if there's a data breach. In fact, I think by law they have to. So I don't know. But the other part, I will say, we've got a lot of legit issues on Geek Squad, legitimate problems with Geek Squad over the past month or so. Do you guys use Geek Squad? I've never used them. I have never used them. You pay them $299 a year or whatever it is. I don't even know what they do, but we've had people call in the last month that legitimately pay it, and they're having trouble getting people out there, getting it fixed, getting warranties done, whatever it has to be. There's something going on over with Geek Squad and Best Buy. Now, 303-713-8255, if you've been ripped off or taken advantage of or want to just expose a bad guy, 303-713-8255. Now, Frank and Stephanie, I got to ask you something. I don't know if this is folklore or not. Do you have to disclose if someone was murdered in a house you guys are selling?
No. Because it could stigmatize the property, but...
What would you have to disclose? That's not the normal disclosures, like there was a flood there. Not on the normal Colorado disclosing. Something we are not thinking about.
What would you have to disclose in terms of...
Well, like a death. There's nothing like that. No. Not a murder, not a death, nothing.
Any material Facts.
Adverse material facts.
Anything
like,
adverse.
okay, how about if the place got robbed 4 times?
You
How
know,
about if it's in a bad neighborhood?
well, that would be somebody's opinion. What's bad?
Well,
we have to present them
every
with
house on the
facts.
block
Yeah, we can't give our opinion though.
No, but if every house in the cul-de-sac, I'll make it even easier, was robbed, do you have to disclose that if you know it?
I don't think so.
Boy, Mark, I have never ran into that.
How about if a Nazi?
I've not
How about
run
if a
into that either.
legitimate Nazi lives next door? Do you have to? Can you? In fact, I'll even phrase it a different way. Do you have to, or you get in trouble if you do?
I don't believe that would be under adverse material facts. Although I'll tell you, what I would have to do is double check on something like that, Mark, because that's really a rare situation. Believe me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
don't think so though.
So there's certain things you can't talk about, though, right? There's certain things you have to disclose. There's other things you're not allowed to disclose if you know them. Am I correct in that?
Well, let's put it this way. Stephanie knows, too. If we're representing a buyer, and let's say we represent the buyer, not the seller, but we got wind that there was a murder in the house, we would tell our own buyer.
But you don't have to.
We would tell our
No,
buyer.
we would tell our buyer.
Sure.
But if I'm the listing agent, unless I have the seller's written permission, I don't disclose it.
Well, I guess what I'm asking is, I remember this story on 9 News, and the guy next door, the guy was selling his house. I have no idea why, but the neighbor next door had a feud with him. And he rolls this sign, the side of his house, this banner that's got to be 40 feet long by 30 feet.
Yeah.
It's basically a bunch of sheets put together and written on with spray paint. And it said, I have loud parties, I have I have dogs, I have this. Wow. And he was making it so the neighbor couldn't sell it. I mean, you would have to disclose a crazy neighbor.
Well, I don't know that would be something that wouldn't be very obvious if he's got those
of course,
giant
that
banners.
would be obvious
Sure.
there. But the guy's not home 24/7. He'd bring that thing in.
Yeah.
I'm just, okay.
But Mark, back to the murder thing, though, I'll tell you, the right way, I think the best way to do something like that is just have a good talk with the seller and say, look, because I've sold homes like this. I understand, and I know neighbors will talk.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
How about if you know something like they're building a train coming through? In other words, a year from now, there's going to be train tracks right behind your house. Do you have to disclose that even though it's a year away?
I would say that's an adverse material fact, yeah.
So you would have to disclose that.
I would say disclose that,
Man,
yes.
I bet occasionally you guys run into issues where, you know, your seller gets a little irritated with you.
I think that comes to communication. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Stephanie.
thankfully I haven't had that experience.
All right, hold on. Stephanie, hold on. Dragon's going to rip my head off if I don't take this break. I promise we'll come right back.
But, you know, guys, I would say that's all
I haven't had that, but you have to communicate with your client.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But, Mark, I think if you talk to them about it up front.
Yeah.
Now, the problem you could run into is if they don't tell me, and I find out as we're midstream in a listing.
But what happens then?
Well, I would tell them if it's something that's adverse material, I tell them it's a lie. I have to disclose it. Fair and honest dealings. Yeah.
It is in the contract.
Fair and honest dealings to the public. My loyalty is to you as my seller, but I still owe fair and honest dealings to the public.
Absolutely.
You know?
All right, hold on. I got to do this.
Yeah.
What was the show where Esther bought the murder house?
Alone Together.
Alone Together. I think in California you have to disclose a murder house. Maybe not. I got that information off of a half-hour comedy show, so it could be wrong.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I think there's ever.
All right, hold on. All right, I triple dog dare you. I'm not kidding. You find a better deal than this, I will be absolutely amazed. I might even buy you lunch, but these guys will sell a 40-gallon water heater installed, and we're talking major brands like Rheem or A.O. Smith, 6-year warranty. They're going to deliver it. They're going to install it, haul away the old one, new water supply lines, new gas flex supply lines. The whole bit, of course, includes permits. You ready for this? $1,299. Euro Plumbing. This is a find I can't believe we got. These guys have been around 10 years plus. They're awesome dudes. 50-gallon water heaters, only $13.99. You want the best out there, you call these guys. This is what they do, and they do it better than anybody. Water heaters, water heaters, water heaters. 303-668-6844, EuroPlumbingColorado.net. Okay.
Ultimately, if it's ever that questionable, you should just talk to an attorney to find out.
Oh yeah,
I see that water bed.
What I do
Always.
if we get into a situation like that, I'll tell you exactly what I do. I go to corporate and say, look, this is the situation. What do you guys think? I always ask Remax, hey,
Yeah.
let's make sure we're not breaking any policies here. I'll let them say, okay, this is what we advise, run it by their attorney, fine.
Yeah.
But I think that's the smart way to do it every time, Stephanie,
Yeah.
because you don't know.
No,
Sometimes
ultimately we're not
Mark
attorneys.
brings up some good thoughts. You don't see these things every day, but what if you did?
Right.
You got to run it by somebody, and
Well,
yeah.
yeah, the worst case scenario, we typically don't see that.
We don't, but
So it's always best to talk to that attorney.
crazy things happen, though, I
Yeah.
tell you. I had one time I
Always.
was getting ready to list it. My sign was already up. Some guy calls me off the sign and says, you know that nephew was selling meth in there, right? I said, no. So I went to the seller. I said, are you aware of this? He goes, well, not really, but he was renting the place. They had a check. There was meth. So I had to give back the listing. I couldn't do anything with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Does Remax not allow you to sell homes that have that?
Yeah, our office policy is real strict about that. Now, some will allow you to do it once it's been
Fully
cleaned.
mitigated.
Yeah, there you go, remedy, yeah. And then you have to...
Do you have that?
Then you can list it, but ours is really strict about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So some that you got to refer to your office policy, too.
Yeah.
But fortunately, I've only ran into that once, so...
I was going to say, I've only had one,
Yeah.
but it had like all the appropriate full Colorado full remediated docs and all
Well,
that.
that's one of the questions we ask is
Do you need
we have a
some
list
more?
of questions
Do you
we
need
make
help
them
with something?
sign and fill out.
No, just
Whether
same
they're
old
meth,
stuff.
Yeah, it's
aware
in
of
our
any meth,
contract.
Marijuana cultivation, any of that stuff.
Yeah,
It's not a big deal.
Asbestos,
Yeah.
you know.
Dimitar.
We get some weird situations, though, don't we? Sometimes.
Well,
Suzanne,
remember
Suzanne,
mine.
you ought to see what we deal with sometimes. You get some really strange situations.
Mine was strange in a way. We didn't have an argument about it, but you went and asked your whoever. Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You're talking about the mailing address?
Yeah.
I remember that.
I couldn't believe those old people. They're like, you change yours. I ain't changing mine. You change yours. You couldn't make this up. It never happens. It only happens to me.
See, and
Stuff
Mark,
like that.
And see, I have to be extra careful with stuff like that. I have to run it by Remax. I can't just well, we could do this or that. I have to make sure we're not, breaking any rules.
I'm listing my house.
Yeah.
So you guys allowed to play at the preserve whenever you want? Golf course?
The preserve?
Not the preserve. What's Lennigan's golf course?
Oh, Doc, I wouldn't know. I don't know how to golf, buddy.
Oh.
I don't have any hobbies, I tell you.
Mark's buying lunch. He said.
Yeah, right.
Mommy no water tank.
Is Mikey getting here right at 2?
I think he's already here.
Oh, okay.
Where is he?
I think he's in the parking lot.
What'd you guys drive?
His truck, mine actually we took to the dealer yesterday.
What's wrong?
It started doing a weird thing a couple weeks ago. Like all my sensors started lighting up like a disco party, and then it just stopped and it was fine. And now my side impact sensors are out, so we've got it at the dealer trying to figure all that out. Literally, it was like a disco party. The lights were just, it was...
Something's really wrong.
Something was weird. Let's hope not. I don't want to have another car.
I hate to say it, but I'm still waiting for my free box of Grainberry. It has been now 8 weeks, And I've got nothing. No coupon, no email, nada, lotta, nothing. And I've been dying to get this stuff. That stupid commercial is in my brain. I figured we'd all try it on air during a Car Friday and see what Grainberry actually tastes like.
You know what they're doing now? They probably got so many requests that now they're giving you $2 off the price, but you have to pay for it.
Yeah, well, there's no way. There's no way. Have you tried it? I haven't. Don't tell me what it tastes like. It's good, isn't it? Okay, don't tell me. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. Shut her mic off. She's not allowed to say if she likes it or not. We're going to do a taste test.
Are you going to bring it into the studio when you get it?
Yes, and we're all going to try it, Doc. Now, Dave has a comment on a spot I just did for Euro Plumbing, the best water heater deals out there. I'm pulling back up my bullet points. Yeah, $12.99, 40-gallon water heater installed. Includes hauling away the old one, the new one. It's either A.O. Smith or Rheem. 6-year warranty. 50-gallon, $13.99. Includes the flex lines, everything. The sponsor is going to love me because I basically did just 2 commercials. Dave, what's your comment?
Well, I called them, got their phone number from Kelly, and we called them. They came out, give us a bid price, and the only reason I'm calling is to take you up on your spot of a free lunch.
Well, what would it? Okay, tell me what they wouldn't do for the price I said.
Well, they were going to do everything that you said they would do for $3,000.
Well, why would it be more? I mean, you're leaving something out for sure. What is it?
Well, I didn't pay more, Mark. I went and found somebody else.
Well, okay, here's what I'm going to do. Exactly right now. Get Dimitar. Kelly, get Dimitar on. I want to know, and you keep this guy on, get his first and last name. You got Dave. We won't give his last name out. Dave, give her all the info. I'm going to get Dimitar on. You're telling me you called him for the special. I'm going to bring you back up. I want to clarify. The $12.99 water heater special, that includes hauling the old one away, bringing the new one in, connecting it, pulling the permit, putting new flex lines and new water lines, and he wanted $3,000, not $12.99, and there's nothing else he was going to do.
Well, he put an expansion tank on, but...
okay, wait, are you saying yours... Wait a minute, so yours was out of code, is what you were saying. He had to upgrade some of your code.
Correct.
Well, how much more than the expansion tank did he have to upgrade?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, Dave, that's not fair. I mean, if you're out of code...
No, wait a minute, Mark.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You said $12.99.
Yes.
Fully installed.
Yes.
And I called on it.
Yes.
And we had a bid price before for $1,800.
What do you mean a bid price before?
Well, a plumber was out there and he was going to charge.
Oh, you mean somebody else? I just don't care about the $1,800. All I'm saying, Dave, is, look, man, that is what they do for $12.99. I have an expansion tank in my house. That's how much mine would cost if I got it. I mean, if yours is 8,000 feet underground, it's going to cost more as well. So I don't know where you really draw the line there. Guys, do you think I was... Dragon, I want to ask you, do you think I was fair on that, or do I owe this guy lunch? I mean, I'm literally saying what it includes. For $12.99, you get the water heater. He takes the old one away. Dimitar's going to love me because there's no one else doing this at $12.99. I don't care what you say, Dave. It's the best price out there. It's unbelievable. Your house might have cost more, but I don't know how to help you with that. I really don't. I would love a comment on that, though. 303-713-8255. If I owe him lunch, I owe him lunch. I'd like to hear that spot again. You know what? Do me a favor. Pull up the spot I did. If it's not clarified, I'm going to buy you lunch. Hold on, Dave. Okay. Cool. Yeah, tell him I want him on. He has no choice. Who else? Made in the Shade. You guys use Made in the Shade? Either of you?
I haven't yet.
They are good,
They
man.
did a great job on my new place.
I forgot you use them.
Yeah.
I'm going to use you on this spot real quick.
What do
Just
they do?
quick.
I don't know. What do they do, Doc?
What?
Any window coverings.
Oh, window coverings.
Cheap, expensive, in between.
Nice.
Automated computer.
I do my whole house.
Pull string.
Awesome.
I like their name, Made in the Shade.
Yeah.
All right, guys. There's a couple ways to buy window coverings. One, you can go on the internet and do all your own measuring, pick out your colors on a computer screen, and then wait for a company to ship them to you. Then you install them yourself. Yeah, you can save some money over other companies, but you're doing all the work. The guys at Made in the Shade can beat the prices of those other guys, but they do something different. They come out right to your home. They do all the measurement. They show you the color palette. They show you all the products, from stuff for fix and flips all the way up to $1 million homes. Then on top of that, you know what they do? They do the installation. Doc, you use these guys.
Just had them do my whole house.
How's it look?
It looks great.
And it was a brand new home.
Yeah, brand. So
you
lots
did
of
every
windows.
window.
Every window.
Unbelievable. Doc shops around too. He's part of the show. If you want the best blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, and more, call Made in the Shade. 720-458-6566. 720-458-6566, or check him out at referralist.com. Now let's talk about David Ellis. You got some old jewelry hanging in that junk drawer, maybe some earrings that are mismatched, maybe a broken watch. How about old coins? You know what? Don't go to a pawn store. You want the real money for your precious metals, you go to David Ellis Jewelers. They're at 3rd and Clayton. You can check them out at davidellisjewelry.com. They're going to weigh it and they're going to pay it. davidellisjewelry.com. Oh, I can't believe him.
Believe who?
Okay. He's so shy about coming on because of his accent.
Demitar.
He doesn't think people can Say it, Kelly. I couldn't hear you.
Hold on.
I need a water heater. Euro plumbing.
We're going to have like 3 minutes coming back. Yeah.
Dimitar was going to come on, but he's right in the middle of the job. So he basically said, if the guy calls back, I'll get his information, but he totally hung up.
Did the guy not give you his last name or anything?
He did not give me his last name. So I can't give
Usually when we get a call like that, it's another plumber. I don't think Dave was, but I'm saying we've had that.
Really?
Oh, God, yeah. I can do it for $11.99.
Well, and usually I'm asking for like everybody's phone number, so I have it.
Is that Dave? Oh, you don't know. Don't worry about it.
No, it's not. Trust me, he's not going to call back.
Okay. It's too bad. He could have got dinner at Shanahan's.
On my Facebook memories, someone 10 years ago said...
I said I triple dog dare you.
I was trying to dress up a little if you know where my black sweats are.
Who put that?
I quoted
Miles.
I quoted you 10 years ago today.
Oh, jeez. What did I say?
I was trying to dress up a little if you know where my black sweats are.
Where were we going?
Well, it was April 13th, probably somewhere for your
what's
birthday.
your name?
Oh, that's
Yep.
It was probably from a casino.
At least you're comfortable wearing black sweats.
21.
All right, hang on for me, James.
I wish we had another hour now.
It goes by quick, doesn't it?
Good afternoon. Thanks so much for calling the Tom Martino Show. How can I help you?
It does. It goes by way quicker sitting here.
Hey, Dave, what is, just in case we get disconnected, give me your phone number really quick.
Get his last name too, Kelly.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
So that's 303-887.
Whoa. And your social is 624-877214. And that security clearance code was 72487. And your credit card number, please.
And those classified documents are located at...
Exactly. Right behind the what? The Corvette?
The Corvette.
Okay.
The gas-guzzling Corvette.
Little red Corvette.
Oh, to go to... oh, goodness. I don't know. I've only gone with him once.
But you guys will just drive at night?
You go past Moab, right? You don't turn like you're
Salt
going
Lake
to...
City.
Oh, God.
Oh, I think you go further north.
You go way further.
We're just going to Glenwood tonight. Just
Oh,
to take a
Glenwood.
few hours off of it. Yeah.
That's
That
a
way
long haul.
It is, but that way he can get to his client.
Glenwood's what?
Before
6
5
hours?
tomorrow. From here? Michael said it was 3.
Well, by bus it's 6 hours.
Oh, no. Michael's driving.
15 seconds.
45 minutes.
All right.
Yeah, they're doing really good.
I meant to ask you that, and then I forgot to ask you.
No, they're good.
So you guys don't...
All right, guys. All right, 303-713-8255. Kelly, you got Dave's information. We've got a call into Dimitar. We actually talked to him. We're going to get him all of Dave's information, figure that out. Now, James has a question on home title theft. James, what is your question?
You know, I hear a lot of talk about it and advertising about it.
Yes.
What do you think about that? People can come in. You've been living in your house 30 years or something. Somebody can show up one day and take out a loan, and you know you got to.
I understand. A lot of counties now actually will, as long as you have an email or a phone number or something on, or even snail mail, will send you something if they're changing it. And these companies out there that monitor it, I mean, I don't find any value in it. I'll be honest, James. I would never pay for that. Maybe occasionally go on to the county website where you live and look up the property. You can see who owns it. You can see all the pertinent information. I would not pay for that service. Is it worthless? I'm not going to say it's worthless. It might have saved somebody something at one point, but that's about it, man.
Yeah, well, I thank you then, because I just feel like if it's that bad, they should pass a law that you know people just can't take your home, you know.
Yeah, and generally they can't anyhow. Someone's got to go down and file something with that county. Now, every county could be a little different. A lot of counties, though, will actually warn you. These companies that monitor it, it's not like they're calling every customer's address into every county around the country. They're just basically scooping in information that they can gather that they've kind of created a database for. I personally wouldn't do it, but by any means, if it makes someone feel more comfortable, I mean, do it, but I personally think it's a ripoff. All right, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. I do want to thank our guest today, Frank Duran, the real estate man, Stephanie Thomas. You know something, I'm going to say this. I've personally used Frank. Stephanie's up in Colorado Springs. I've never bought a house there or sold one there. If I did, I would use Stephanie, and I can say that hands down, absolutely no doubt. You want the best, it's these two folks. Frank Duran can be reached at 303-920-1622. Frank, you also do a free analysis for people, and that's 100% free.
Absolutely.
No pressure. You're just going to tell them what their vehicle, what their house is worth. Stephanie, do you do that as well? Either or. Stephanie Thomas can be reached at 720-260-0918. They both can be found at referralus.com. My name is Mark Major. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Mark, you can do the show tomorrow before you leave?
Hell no.
Oh, so you're not coming in tomorrow?
No, I'll be in there.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino and stay connected with all of us at 630 KHOW, KHOW.com, and on the iHeartRadio app. Leland Conway is next on Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Without the ones like you who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Dan Kaplis. Ronald Reagan once said, "The future belongs to the brave." You and I both know that's true. I see it every day in our law practice where we help brave people overcome serious injuries by getting them the money they need to rebuild their lives. We are a serious firm for serious cases. We take righteous injury cases on a percentage fee basis. If you need our help, call 303-770-5551 or hit dancaplislaw.com.
We've become so much more than a fixed frequency from a radio tower. Take your radio with you. 630 KHOW is now available on multiple platforms and thousands of devices. Listen to Denver's talk station from anywhere.
A stream online
at khow.com.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
ABC News, I'm Rena Roy. A probable cause arrest in the investigation into U.S. classified intelligence documents leaked online. Attorney General Merrick Garland.
Today, the Justice Department arrested Jack Douglas Teixeira in connection with an investigation into alleged unauthorized removal, retention, and transmission of classified national defense information.
Uniformed agents and armored vehicles arriving this afternoon at the home of the 21-year-old Air Force National Guard member. The classified documents included intelligence on Russia and its attacks on Ukraine and Ukraine's capabilities. In San Francisco, police have made an arrest in the fatal stabbing of former Cash App founder Bob Lee. Investigators say the suspect was known to Lee. Former President Trump is appearing for a second deposition related to New York Attorney General's civil fraud lawsuit on how his family business values real estate. The lawsuit seeks $250 million. This is ABC News. The Biden administration is wrapping up its Investing in America tour with an announcement impacting drivers across the country.
The White House announcing a $300 million investment.
Hey, dummy.
Bridges from California to the nation's capital for projects including repairs, rehabilitation, and replacement. The administration calling these overpasses community lifelines, estimating more than 200,000 drivers rely on them daily. Vice President Kamala Harris visiting the Arlen D. Williams Jr. Memorial Bridge Thursday, which connects Washington, D.C. to Arlington, Virginia. That bridge due for $72 million in funding. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Just in time for summer, an updated national parks feature on Google Maps. Google says park directions are getting more precise, and now you can see a park's most popular places. Know where a trail begins and ends. Rena Roy, ABC News.
In business, everything your employees do impacts your brand, including what they wear. Cintas has high-performance